And everything's just perfect. Okay, we're going to do a countdown. Everyone's ready. We've got what's his name on the thing? He's going to switch scenes up for us. Technical stuff I'll take care of. And then out of nowhere, she goes, "Let's roll, buttholes," as loud as she could. It was amazing. And I never want her to change. Okay, well, let's go. Let's do it. Let me turn off this Witcher music. I don't even know why I chose it, but I did.
Why? I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, it's great.
Great.
Yeah. Skellig music.
Like eating a delicious dinner and being like, I don't know why I wanted to eat that.
Yeah, why am I eating this
delicious.
steak? It's so damn good. Yeah, I'm with you.
Good.
All right, here we go. Kicking it off now. Test 1, 2. We're good. In 3, 2, 1.
Who is this?
I need your help. Diablo is heading east for some foul purpose.
The what?
You better hurry. It's beginning to feel like some great evil is permeating the air around here.
Oh, look who it is, and look who we are, and look what we're doing. It's Core, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Core for November 16, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson here in the Water Temple with Beau Schwartz and John Jagger, and we are ready to talk about video games. Stuff happening, stuff that has happened, things that we played, awards that have been nominated, all kinds of really stupid stuff today on a week where it basically is 2012 for me, and I'll get to that later. Before we do anything, though, I got to tell you guys a cool story. I'm walking around in Valdrakken, which is the home city there in the Dragonflight World of Warcraft business, right? And I'm hanging out in there. Everything's going fine. And some guy runs up to me and says in a /say, "Are you Gerp from the instance?" And I said, "Oh, well, I was. I mean, I'm still Gerp. I was on Gerp. So that was the character. I didn't have Henry out, though. I had out, who did I have out? I had Derek. He's a bear. Anyway.
Yep.
I name all my pets stupid things. And he was there standing there, and he goes, "Just so you know, we've never talked before, but I was listening to the instance when I was 8 years old. Excuse me, as my dad and I used to listen together." I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy." And I'm thinking, what was this, like a while ago? The kid's maybe 12 or something now. No, he's 20. He's 25 years old now.
Yep.
That's insane to me. This 8-year-old kid listens to the show, finds me all these years later. We had a lovely chat. It was very nice. I can say his name. He told me it was okay. His name is Jacob, and that was awesome. So hi, Jacob. Oh, and he loves Core. He listens to Core and loves it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, awesome.
Hi, Jacob.
Yeah, he's graduated to Core like the rest of us. And anyway, it went really well. So I wanted to share that little anecdote. And then the other thing, before we get going here in earnest, Steam Deck 2.0 or the Steam Deck OLED models went on sale today at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And my daughter and I were both going to try to snipe one because she already sold hers to her sister, her smaller one. She had more of the entry-level one and was ready to go. She even sold her PS5 because she's just like,
I'll do anything for a Steam Deck.
Yeah, the Steam Deck.
Wow, she just got rid of all of it. Eh?
Her previous Steam Deck kind of took over games-wise. Like, it's all she wanted to play on. And I think that makes sense. But anyway, she was there, poised to go, and I was too. And TMS was just standing when this is all going on, so we're refreshing the page. And it's like, oh, okay, they're up. And immediately the site goes down. Everything goes skawampus. The bots flooded in, tried to buy a bunch of this stuff. It was a series of refresh. Finally got to the next page. Then it would refresh. Finally got to a page where we thought we were good. We were both going for the limited edition models. And that's the one with the cool translucent-ish case or body, and then the orange accents and buttons and stuff. It's really cool. And it's not, I think it's $30 more, and it seemed worth it. So we were both going to try to do that. Well, it suddenly pops up and says, after all these refreshes, sorry, this is out of stock now. I'm like, well, shit. This is terrible. All right, fine. I just want the terabyte OLED. Let's do it. So I went to the terabyte OLED one, the normal one. Same thing, bunch of refreshes, all these problems. Eventually, that goes through. Then Carter's like, fine, I'll do that one too. So she goes to do hers. She gets to the final screen. Sorry, we're out of stock on that now. So everybody's like, oh, what is this? This is terrible. About 10 minutes later or something like that, Valve updates the page to say, we're now limiting sales of all of this to anyone who hasn't who has made a purchase on our service since November of this year, the 1st of November or something like that.
Oh, look at that.
Because I guess bots and like new signups and stuff are trying to snipe these in volume and, get them all. So now they're stock again. But I've already bought the one. So I could have right then gone and done this other one and then returned that. And you know what? I started going, the only difference between these is one looks like the current Steam Deck color-wise and the other one doesn't. I guess I don't care. But Carter, through magically getting her sister on the phone, who wasn't being told she was timed out for trying to hit refresh too many times, she got it over in their townhouse, and then just will transfer it to her, and then she'll pay her via Venmo. Anyway, it all worked out. Everybody's getting their Steam Decks. All right?
I mean, you know what you could do, Scott?
What?
'Cause I have it pulled up. It's in my cart right now. I could get one. You buy one of those limited edition ones.
Yeah.
You give me the one you just bought because you like me and you think I'm an affable fellow.
Yeah.
And then you keep the limited edition.
Yeah, we just trade them.
Yeah. You just splurge on a little $600 gift for me.
Wow, that sounds like such a good deal.
Yeah.
I am going. So somebody, I don't know who it was in the community, said you should sell your Steam Deck, my current 512 megabyte one or gigabyte megabyte. What is it? The 90s. And you should put it on eBay and let everybody know, and then you'll probably get some good bids on it. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to include some other cool stuff with it. So if anyone out there is interested, keep an eye on stuff because I will be selling a perfectly wonderful 512 gigabyte version of the LCD Steam Deck soon, and that thing is in pristine condition. But then my new one will be here in like 5 days, and I'm very excited. I'll report back. Nice. All right. There's all that stuff.
Are you sure you want to sell it in pristine?
I mean, it is pristine.
Online personalities tend to get a charge of premium when they rub their balls on it and stuff. Like gamer girl water.
Wait, let's think about this. What is it we could do? What could I add to my Steam
Deck? 2 smudges on the screen.
Yeah, you guess as to what DNA I'm giving you on the screen.
You're like, don't worry, guys, it's clean, and you'll get no bids.
That's true. I need some tub water or some kind of that's not good. Electronics. What do we need here? We need.
Do you have like I don't know, any kind of medical waste?
Steam Deck Smegma edition.
I mean, I had to use a needle for a thing my doctor gave me a little while ago, and I think that needle's
perfect. Blizzard's giving away a bloody PC, like a PC filled with blood. Why don't you just squirt some blood all over that thing, and there you go.
Yeah, just bleed on it. All right, good. Maybe it's a vial I ship with it, a little tiny vial full of blood. Nobody wants this though.
Steam Deck Hepatitis D
nobody
edition.
wants this.
Nobody wants. I'm not a good-looking amaranth-looking young, lady person with a hot tub.
You do not look like Amaranth. That is true.
It's unfair to think.
Scott, you're not a bad-looking individual, but you don't look like
you're
Amaranth.
Good-looking
that
guy.
is a fact.
Not everyone wants Amaranth. We need a variety of offerings.
Yeah. So somebody somewhere wants middle-aged freaking blood, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised. Here's one thing you could do. This one I'm serious about. Maybe it sounds egotistical to people not in the know, but I think a lot of people in the know would be potentially bidding. Maybe because you're going to say I'm going to include artwork, and I'm guessing,
stickers,
right?
pens, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, it's hand signed
stuff. And maybe say, I will sign it if you want me to.
Yeah, because I don't want to assume anyone wants anything from me.
Right.
I really don't like it.
Don't assume they want it.
I'll
just
say
I'll sign it if you would like me to.
I'll sign
it with blood
syringe
if you would like me to.
Sign. That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
It'll be just like 2 post-it notes. Do you want me to sign this? Yes, no. If yes, do you want me to sign it in blood? Yes, no.
Yes, no.
Just check 1, please.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I know there are a lot of people in the market for something like this, but just don't want to buy new or as expensive as a newer one can be. So it'll be a good deal. Well, we'll see. It's an auction, so I don't know what it'll be. Maybe it'll go higher than I expect. But I'm going to sell it.
The Blizzard competition for the sole purposes I want to see this bloody PC in person.
Yeah, dude.
Right. I don't need it. I don't want it that bad. Although it's got a 4090 in it, that's not too bad.
No,
That's what I wanted.
But
that's all I really wanted.
I want the blood.
Yeah.
I did the social media thing to win the PC, and then Beau pointed out that I didn't include the hashtag, and I was like, oh, I got to do that. And then I was like, I don't.
Never got around to it.
Nah.
Wait, it required it.
I just couldn't be bothered to fix it, so I don't think my
the rules
entry is
are,
valid.
and I could have them wrong too, but what I remember is you like the post, then reply telling a friend with the hashtag, whatever it was, Diablo.
It was too big of a hashtag. I didn't.
It was pretty big.
For that.
I copy pasted.
If I want a free computer, I want to put basically zero effort into it.
Just 1,000 hours of labor.
Yeah.
Represented through the cash you earned instead of
yes.
copying a hashtag.
No, like if I'm buy a computer, I'll put work into that. But if I'm getting a free computer, I want minimal effort.
Do you think, Beau, because you're on the 1,000 list of people who dinged 100 without dying in hardcore, and you're on the statue, that they would give you preferential possible?
Yeah, they should. But
just pump up your chances or something.
What if they disqualify him? They're like, Jesus, we put you on a statue. Now we're going to give you a computer. What else do you want?
Yeah.
I'm one of the best to get the computer. I've got a great camera. I'll do an unboxing and show it off to people. You know, we'll talk about it on Core.
Awesome.
The #1 Blizzard-related podcast in the world.
Yeah,
I do want to be a PC influencer because I would like PC parts to try to influence people to buy.
Yes. That I want okay, if you had to donate a part of you to circulate in a piece liquid cooled PC thing, and not just your blood, but some other part of you, what would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like one eyebrow hair just flowing through that thing, you know?
Well, oh my gosh, if we can go that small, fine. I'll scratch some knuckle skin into the thing. Like
what? You don't want? I want eyeballs in mine. Like,
yeah,
like whole eyeballs, like the entire
like whole Nash eyeball.
You softballed it so much. You're like, okay, you're gonna get a brand new PC. What do you want to put in there? I'm gonna put some hair.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some hair
like,
in there.
Who cares? You're not giving up anything.
No.
I'd be more willing to put a hair in a PC than use the hashtag they wanted me to use.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like, would you cut off a big toe for a new computer?
What if a PC has a fully functional dong and testicles?
Oh, I don't know about that. Fully functional.
Like it
what
belongs
graphic
to the
card
PC.
is in it?
Yeah, what GPU is in there that I'm
4090.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Does it have needs or just like it's got them?
It's a human.
It's
penis.
not a deal breaker either way. I'm just curious. Like,
it
what is the
works.
level of
It
commitment
flops around.
I'm getting into with this PC?
All right, but John's not going to be halfway through a run in, I don't know, some game. He's doing a dungeon in Final Fantasy, and this thing's going to go, hey, what?
Hey.
I'm horny. You need to come over here.
Address me.
Address my needs.
He's like, I won't turn RTX on unless you give me a few strokes.
That's terrible. Oh
that's like gosh. That's some what's that author's name? Naked Lunch.
Oh,
stuff. You know, the penis in the forehead.
What's his name?
Who's the author?
The author
William Burroughs. Is
no.
Well, Cronenberg made the movie.
Oh, Cronenberg's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Cronenberg
is a William S. Burroughs.
Yeah, that stuff's weird.
Yeah,
that stuff's really weird. That movie
That's what I'm thinking of.
Also had Peter Weller in it. Funny enough.
Yeah, Peter Weller. I was gonna say another Peter Weller classic.
Someone find out if he was a dick on that set or not. But anyway. Okay, well there you have it. That's some fun stuff to think about while we meander into our big topic. Look, I don't think any of us are fans of popularity contests. We don't really care about the Oscars or the Emmys or, any of that. But for some reason, when it comes to video games, well, we all get all fired up because it's all we have. And the Game Awards nominations came out, which people can go vote for. I don't know how this actually works. Is it purely a popular vote? Do we know how that functions? Does anyone know? Because I don't know.
I know they have a jury, but I believe the jury only names the nominees, and then it is a popular vote from there, is my understanding. But I could be wrong.
So the winners from this list will be popular vote selected, right? We assume that.
I assume nothing.
Yeah, maybe it's probably best not to. But
I was gonna say I assume that, and then I just changed in the middle of the sentence.
the main
Yeah, it's probably best.
chief category that everybody's getting all up in arms about, mostly fans of Starfield, are mad about this because it's not on the list. But the current nomination list for Game of the Year is Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom, the Zelda business. And Tom asked me on DTNS which of these games, if I could take one off and replace it with, something like Starfield, what would I do? And I would take off Resident Evil 4, not because it isn't amazing. It is. It's really, really well done, but it's a remake of an old game. I don't think those get to count.
Yeah, but it's a complete remake. It is not the same video game.
Yeah,
I think Dead Space did better than RE4. People are just love RE4. They got RE4 bias.
No,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is better than Dead Space.
Really?
Let me immediately nullify Beau's opinion here by going, as somebody who played and completed both video games.
Yeah. I did that too.
Evil 4 did more.
I did that too. As somebody who doesn't like horror games, I'll say that I think I had more fun. I had more.
RE4 has a bunch of music in it.
I said it to be a jerk, but now that I'm thinking,
it didn't really work.
It has
a bunch of music in it. Dead Space had like barely any music. It had engineering porn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ambient, distressing ambient sound.
Points for me.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Like, here's the reality. Are we gonna start with this? Like, are we starting with the banger category?
I say,
okay, all
let's
right.
do the
We're
banger.
gonna work our way down. Our content's gonna get less interesting as we go.
Yeah,
we'll go through
That's
them
the
quick.
plan.
We'll go through the boring ones
But
quick.
I think like no matter what, you're gonna be disappointed. Like this year was a crazy year for video games.
Yeah.
They picked 6. Like I could probably easily do a top 10 at just with things that I played for this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that in a few weeks, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like this does not reflect my personal list very well. I could easily remove games I like very much from this list to put other games on here. I think no matter what, people were going to be disappointed with.
I think we're going to be stuck on things forever if we go deep into analysis on like
which one
on that
what should
like,
have been there.
Yeah, so like we can still talk about it. I'm not saying don't do it, but like if each one's going to be like they missed 50 games that I think, like your point is well made. So
I mean, I think to the Starfield people, I would say, oh well, good news, it's on the best RPG of the year list, but so is Baldur's Gate. So it feels a little stacked against them. And Baldur's Gate will probably and should probably win. Like I think it's a hands down like the lead game, but it's not the one I would pick or the one I had the most fun with.
Out of those listed, which one did you like the best?
Of those listed,
yeah, because we're gonna do our own list soon enough. So we're gonna just go off of the video game awards categories, and anybody that wants to say, "Well, I don't know if this should have been," that's not the discussion. We'll do our list at the end of the year for what is nominated.
Yeah, Game Awards don't really matter that much. Not as much as the core year-end.
No, they're just again these kind of contests like the Oscars. It's all about driving business to theaters and getting people stoked about movies they haven't heard about. This serves the same purpose. It's a very commercial purpose. So just keep that in mind. We all have monkey brains that want to pick sides and be tribal and pick our favorite things, and this plays on that. It's okay to have fun with it. It's totally cool, but we're not going to get into the weeds, I don't think, about how wrong their picks are, because who cares? Like, we're going to have our own picks. You're going to have your own picks. It's ridiculous. Especially in a year like this, I don't even know how you do this in 2023. It's insane. It's more fun to look at the worst games. Talk about that King Kong piece of shit and that weird Gollum game.
Gollum, King Kong, Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a real big year for terrible video.
Oh, Modern Warfare 3 is getting just freaking destroyed.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
I almost put it in the news last week, and I was like, yeah, we don't need that vibe here. We just won't talk about it.
No, I do feel bad though.
Anyway.
Do you think Microsoft's having like not regret, but they're sitting around going, the one big Activision title, the one that matters most on the Activision name, is a piece of shit this year. Well done, everybody.
I think Microsoft is sitting there going, guys, you couldn't wait a couple months for us to not just totally come in and try and tank the franchise.
Yeah. They're still licking their Red Dawn. Not Red Dawn. What was it called? The vampire one?
Redfall.
Redfall. They're still licking those wounds.
Red Dead Vampire.
Red Dead Vampire
that
Redemption.
was this year too, right? I put that on the list as well.
Yeah, put that on your poopy list because it was poopy. Although, I don't know. Maybe it's okay now. I kind of want to check in.
So who are you voting for Game of the Year?
So of these, I would choose Baldur's Gate 3 partly because I only played 2 of these. Resident Evil 4 and Baldur's Gate 3 are the only 2 I played. I'm confident that I would probably like Alan Wake 2 and hope to play it one day if I can get over the scary bits.
Here's the thing, if I can say something salacious.
Please.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like all these games, even though I haven't played Spider-Man 2 or Zelda or Wonder or RE4 or Alan Wake 2, I can pretty much guess
I like
how
that
they're
you
going to play.
named all the ones you haven't played, and it was literally everything but one of them.
But you know, like I know what these games are. Like I've played versions of them before, right? And I guess that's true of Baldur's Gate 3, but I want to say I can think of more examples of the other games than I can of Baldur's Gate 3.
Right.
And so it stands out from this list, even if you like them.
I agree. Even if I'd have played them all, I just have a feeling that if you're really just going from a technical, how do I put this? I don't mean technical. I just mean like whole package kind of thing where we're looking at less derivativeness. Everything else on here feels derivative to me except for Baldur's Gate 3, even though it's a sequel to a series. It is the most like different from its past.
Well, I can give you actual specifics if you're struggling. Only 5th edition D&D system, one of very few games to actually one-to-one an TTRPG rule set. Not only that, but did it with a gigantic amount of options. Yeah. One of the only games where you have multiple outcomes for multiple characters in a giant storytelling web. Like, the actual multiplayer turn-based combat is super well done, an innovation on their previous game where people can take turns at the same time. There's so many reasons where you can say like this hasn't been done before, that they did that none of the other games. I mean, I guess you've never been an elephant in Super Mario Wonder, but like big whoop, you know what I mean?
That's true. No, that's true.
Like, The Legend of Zelda just added a Valheim mod to their game. Like, it's.
Did they really?
Yeah. Well, the new Zelda, you have building. It just. I mean, I haven't played it, but from the trailers, it looks like what you already do in Valheim, which is take things and build them.
Maybe, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's not quite that, but you know what I mean. It's just
I thought
like
somebody was inserting Valheim in the game and hacked it or something, or did some weird thing. But I get what
they
you mean.
didn't do something new. They did something new for the Zelda franchise, which is different, right?
Sure, so, and it's top notch as always because Nintendo makes no crap. Like I have no, even though I haven't played it, but I know that I know I'm going to love Wonder when I finally get around to it. I know that all of these are worthy of praise. Every one of these.
There's
games.
no bad game on the list.
Like, yeah, they're all good games.
You spent the money, and it's worth your time and money, probably.
Yeah,
I do. I've played 4 of the 6.
Yeah, the most of us.
I've played Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4, and we're gonna be 3 for 3. I'd say Baldur's Gate for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right.
3 for 3.
Nice.
Let's look at the next one.
There should be a little next one, yeah.
Yeah, next category
best
is
game direction.
Best game direction.
Yeah, and this looks like a similar list. Let's tell you what's on there.
Same list with no RE4.
No RE4 because, again, remake of an old game.
Poorly directed RE4.
Yeah,
anyways.
It's known for its poor direction, RE4. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think direction... See, I haven't played enough.
Yeah, so
Alan Wake.
I think it is worth noting, because they do write a blurb on what they say is the purpose for it. So they say awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. And I'll tell you on this one, I've played 3 of the 5 now because RE4's gone.
Yeah.
As much as I love Baldur's Gate 3, I know I'm not going to get you guys with this because you guys have not played it.
Yeah.
My vote for this would be for Alan Wake 2.
I'll bet I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, not because I know, but because I just have a feeling this is where they give the most love to Alan Wake 2 is here.
I think Alan Wake 2 deserves this category to even say it would just start getting into a bunch of spoilers. I think Baldur's Gate is certainly a contender, and I wouldn't be sad if it won. But Alan Wake 2 is what they're doing with that game and that world and that universe and everything tied to it is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So that's my vote for this one.
Hey, is it true that the voice of Mario in the new Wonder game, which is not Martinet anymore, but is it the dude from Final Fantasy 16?
No.
Who made that up? Is that all just from their little meme thing they did when they?
Yeah, it's from the meme when he was going, "It's me,
Mario." Yeah, no, we played it here on the show, but somebody in Discord or whatever did a really convincing job of telling me that
that was me because I said, "Hey, he also voiced Mario this year."
Was that
was
you?
my convincing job? Yeah.
Oh well, shit! I should have known with you, wasn't it? I don't know what I was thinking.
No,
I need to play that game. Though.
It's just because Ben Starr put a video on Twitter for his application to be the new voice of Mario, where sounding exactly like Clive from Final Fantasy 14 started doing, "It's me, Mario. A Mario."
Do you, speaking of which, do you have any feelings about 16 being left off this? Any list? It's just not on here, is it?
I mean, it'd be on my personal. I can completely understand why that would not be with as good of a year in gaming as it is. I can understand why it didn't make a top 6. So I'm fine with it. Like, that game was very specifically great for me. I think just, 2/3 of us played it and 1/3 of us liked it. So I think that maybe tells you where it's supposed to be.
Sure.
I think that game's brilliant. I think that game's great. I think the spectacle in that game is bar none, and there have been some games that have certainly tried. Spider-Man 2 tries to start big and bombastic, and I pales in comparison to Final Fantasy 16.
So it should be on the list instead of Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
I would do it, but I don't think broadly it's going to end up being there. To me, it ultimately comes down to, like, is the right game to win the category in there, and that is. So I kind of don't care about the rest.
Okay,
Like, I know it's an honor to be nominated, but at the end of the day, like, did they put Baldur's Gate 3 on there? Yes. Okay, then it's
They're probably gonna win.
Like,
yeah.
This
is how I felt.
We got 31 to do.
Yeah, we got a lot more. I just wanted to say real quick. This is how I felt.
We're gonna do all of them.
We're not doing them all.
Well, we can speed through them quickly, I think, if we run out of time. But.
I loved, you'll remember in 2016's Oscars when Fury Road got the most nominations that year, but I knew it wasn't going to win the big one. I knew it. It should have, and I would love it if it did, but I'm not dumb. I know how the Academy works. This is like that. This will be Alan Wake or Baldur's Gate. That's who's winning this one here. Zelda, sorry, you had stuff years ago where you already got to be top of the heap. You get to be like, Spielberg the year after he got an Oscar. All right. You get to chill out a little bit. All right. Next up. Best narrative. Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16. I guess it did get a nom there. And Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I personally see the problem with Baldur's Gate is it probably should win this too because it's so intertwined. The narrative is so much intertwined conversations and text trees and you deciding stuff on the fly and then getting a different version than Beau saw, that John saw. We all saw different versions of how the story played out. I don't know how you don't give it that, just because that right there isn't so much a storytelling achievement as it is a overall achievement of getting your narrative fully immersed in the mechanics of the world. So it probably deserves it, but my personal favorite would be Phantom Liberty. That's the one I would give it to.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I don't give it to Baldur's Gate 3. I did initially. I actually went back and changed my vote on this because I have already voted. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 is getting recognized as Game of the Year. I think it is the Game of the Year by a landslide. But you know what didn't stick its landing for me at all? Baldur's Gate 3. You know what did stick its landing for me in a big bad way and is still one of the best video game stories I've ever played? Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
It is what I picked for this too. So
But you know what I'm saying
I'm
about
not going to be sad if Baldur's Gate 3 wins, or honestly any of these. I don't think Marvel's Spider-Man deserves to win. I'll be honest, I don't think the story was that good. But any of the other 4, I think, is good enough to carry this, and I wouldn't be sad. But my vote is going to go to Phantom Liberty.
Same here,
No,
Beau.
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I
Okay.
love Final Fantasy 16 story, but Cyberpunk 2077's is better.
Okay.
I'm 3 for 3 on Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I'll stay in there.
So far, both staying strong.
Beau, do you agree with me though about the intertwining of how the story works is really the achievement there? Like, and the story's good too.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not a good story, but
Well, I mean, John, we had a long conversation. You can there's some bugs and there's some unfinished stuff, but I think overall the ambition, I'm give it to it for the ambition. I don't think ambition in storytelling mechanics. It might be that Phantom Liberty has the more cohesive story, but we get cohesive stories like all the time.
that's true.
But Baldur's Gate 3, it has ambition, so that's why it gets my vote.
Fair enough. Next up, we have Best Art Direction, and Alan Wake hangs around for this one, as does Mario Wonder, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. In addition, we have Hi-Fi Rush and Lies of P.
Where's Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, it's not on there. I'm a little surprised.
I was like, I want to vote for it for every category.
Every category.
Why isn't it in this one?
Pretty much. That's what everyone should do. But
You know
I
what's
just-
freeing here, though,
Maybe.
for me? Well, I haven't played Alan Wake 2, and from my understanding, like that probably is going to be the one that get it and deserves it. But having played Lies of P, at least a bunch of it, and seen a lot of this other stuff, the one that impressed me the most on this list was Hi-Fi Rush. That game, I realize that's probably an underdog here. That game was freaking rad. Still is.
No, that game looked good. That
Yeah.
game looked awesome. My vote for this was Alan Wake 2. I think it's an incredible feat to be able to show like real live action footage and then switch to in-game models, and not somehow that's not jarring to me. Like, it didn't even make me think twice about it. So I think that's a crazy achievement, and for that alone, not that alone. There's a lot of great things about it.
Yeah.
But that's why I gave it to that.
All right, Beau.
This is tough. I haven't played any of these games.
All right, and there's no
So-
Baldur's Gate on there to go
I was
with.
gonna write in Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm probably just going to vote for Hi-Fi Rush because it's cool and different.
That's what I do. It's cool. And I like cool and different.
And
I mean, I think
I have yet to play, and I actually, it's on my to-do list. But
they're all beautiful games. If anything, I think Zelda's maybe a little misplaced there because the new Zelda is it looks just like the last one. Like I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad way. It's already a beautiful game, but they didn't change much to how it looks. Like it still kind of looks like Breath of the Wild.
I'm gonna piss off our Zelda fan, but that'll be my role in the team.
Yeah, I'll probably get shit for it too.
I don't like the art style.
Oh, yeah.
all.
Oh, really?
I
Well, I
think it
can't
looks
agree
like
with you there. I
cheap.
do like the art style, but I just don't think it differentiates itself over the 2017 game.
From what I've seen of Zelda and Mario, I actually would give it to Mario over Zelda.
Yeah, I would
Because
too.
Mario is still like, it's walking familiar territory with Mario games, and somehow still when I watched bits of it was like, oh my gosh, that looks crazy and that looks cool.
Mhm.
Like some of the things it does with the flower that kind of changes, gets Mario real high and changes the world in wacky ways. Like some of that stuff is crazy. Like where you look like you're underwater, but that operates like you're in the air, and then you jump up out of the water and now you're swimming in the air. Like some of those effects are just wild and really cool looking, and kind of reinvents something that's such a known quantity like Mario,
Yeah.
that I actually think that that's more of an achievement than what Zelda
I do
pulled off.
like it.
Although I
do.
think Zelda looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. I'm just saying, put 2 screenshots up of Zelda or Link doing some shit in the forest, and then tell me if it's Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. You're gonna have a hard time telling the difference. They would look very similar. Best score in music. John, good news. Final Fantasy 16's on here. However, it's up against Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3.
All I gotta say is the Raphael boss fight.
That was pretty good.
This is the easiest vote. for
This
me
thing, you know what's
ever.
missing here? This is missing a 6th slot, and that's where I think Starfield should have been right here. That I love that music. I love that whole soundtrack. I listened to it a lot this year outside of the game and in. It's unfair that that's not on here, and I'll just say that out loud. Anyway, continue on. Which one, John? What's your? or Beau, either of you. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Beau.
No. I was just gonna say the same thing. I mean, Raphael. Have you heard Raphael's boss fight music, Scott?
Maybe I can probably find it real quick.
You're not. Have you finished that game? What's your progress report?
Oh my gosh, I'm still somewhere in. Where the hell did I get out? I wasn't in the city yet. There's a lot.
Okay,
left.
here. I don't know if we're gonna get claims trouble for it. I linked it here.
Oh, it should be fine. If it's video game,
but yeah, it's video game music.
Yeah.
If you fight Raphael, this is what you're treated to as soon as the fight starts.
I mean, I've interacted with him like 3-4 times, but I haven't fought him.
It's an Act 3 endgame boss fight.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. Here's some music from that so everybody can hear it. Here we go.
Life's immortal life.
I didn't know it's singing. That's cool.
That's it, yeah.
Here, I'll skip that a little bit. Ooh, very gothic, very intense.
Just wait for it. It's not there. Wait for it. Keep
All
going.
right, we're waiting.
Yes. Now.
Hell has its laws. Hell. Effect in the cause. Curtain falls, but hold your applause. Squirm, for now down here come the claws.
Yeah, I definitely have not seen that yet.
So the boss sings at you while the boss fight happens, and I swear to God, I had chills going down my back. It is one of the best moments in gaming I've had all year. Like, you might like other soundtracks, it's fine, but when I got to that fight and he starts, the voice actor's already amazing as Raphael. When he starts singing at you, and it opens with that. The woman singing, and that's also like incredibly moving. Like, nothing even came close. Like, if you objective meter wise, there's nothing that comes even close to that in gaming this year. Easy BG3 win, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with that.
I hear good things about Alan Wake 2's music, though. Heard real good stuff.
All this stuff's good, but not
For
great.
me, I'm
BG3
going to give
was
it to Final Fantasy 16. There are 2 games on this list that with their music managed to get a cheer out of me. One of them is Baldur's Gate 3 in exactly the moment Beau was talking about. It is an awesome like surprise moment. And for the record, like the rest of Baldur's Gate 3's music is amazing. Like I've listened to it on its own. Like I don't want to be like it's one song that's good. Baldur's Gate 3's score is amazing.
It's really good.
From beginning to end. I love it. But that like guttural reaction of like, oh my God, this is awesome. I had that multiple times with Final Fantasy 16. So that is where my vote is going. For this.
I just wish, I don't know, if you can only do 5, take off Tears of the Kingdom and put Starfield soundtrack on there. Tears of the Kingdom has a nice soundtrack, but it's fine. I listened to that whole thing. It's fine. Moving on. I sound like I'm so anti-Zelda. I'm not, I swear. Chat room and people at home, don't send me emails.
Convince them. Pick Zelda for something, you coward.
Yeah, you bet, you freaking coward. All right, let's move on to best audio design. This a harder and harder thing to tell the difference on because everybody's got really good audio design these days. But Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, which did make this list, Hi-Fi Rush, Resident Evil 4, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm guessing Alan Wake gets that, but I thought Dead Space is my jam, so I love that sound.
Yeah, to me it's between Alan Wake and Dead Space. I voted Alan Wake, but Dead Space would be another great choice.
Dead Space is a braver game that I wish more games did, which was not do music. In fact, I wish more movies had less music. Yeah. It's kind of like ketchup. You know how like you cover the taste of great things by putting ketchup on everything? That's what kind of music is in a lot of presentations. Well, let's put music in here. Instead, these guys went with ambient terror, ambient sounds, and I respect and admire that way more than just just relying on like music-y stuff, video gamey stuff.
I agree. That's why I love No Country for Old Men because it doesn't have any soundtrack. Really,
yeah, good example.
Love that. Adds so much to that movie. Here's one. Best performance. Now, John, try to keep yourself contained here. Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16 is on here. I know you're a bit of a fanboy. Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, is on here. Man, that was this year too. Jeez. Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. I think he's fantastic in that. Melanie Liburd. I almost said libtard. Sorry.
Well, careful now.
Wow,
I know.
Scott.
I know. I hate that term even, but I almost said it. And not for political reasons, everyone. Keep your emails to yourselves. Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate 3. So you got your Historian.
Not newborn.
What did I say? Oh, Newbon.
Neil the newborn.
Neil Newborn. Newbon.
Newborn.
He's the one that sent my daughter the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's
And
super
he might
nice.
be listening. Halson might be listening too.
And Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel Spider-Man 2 plays Peter, I think.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. You said Peter, and I just, for whatever reason, my head
didn't
immediately
click.
went to Office Space. I was just like,
the one I got into the most here, I liked everybody, and I'm a little pissed that Sid isn't on here. Sid should be here. I don't like that.
I mean, he had an iconic year. He played 2 major roles in 2 major games.
Yeah.
But,
he was good in Diablo 4 as well. It should have gotten a nod.
Maybe it's because he was very samey in Diablo 4 as this character.
I mean,
he
he was the same
not
guy
samey.
it was same.
He's
It was
not samey.
he was the same as his Final Fantasy character. Is what I mean.
Well, no, Sid is much better than.
Well, he's
Sid
given
is
more to
much
work
better.
with, but he doesn't affect a different kind of performance. It's sort of just the same.
I feel like he was pretty iconic as Lorath in Diablo 4 compared to
I
the
loved
rest
him
of the
in it.
cast of characters. Like he stands out. His voice really stood out.
Yeah.
And
Lorath does stand out, and then he's even better as Sid.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure he's-
imagine that.
put him up for both. I'm not saying he shouldn't be there for FF16. I just think he definitely was iconic in D4. I should have gotten the nod, but it doesn't matter because Asterion, again, we're talking greatness here. Everyone was good, but Neil Newbon was great.
Now everybody in here will go to that event in hopes they win. Idris Elba's got other shit to do. He's not going to be at this thing.
Are you saying it's not worth recognizing?
I'm
him
saying that
because he's a
he
movie
is my
star?
pick for this. This is who I would go with. I think everybody else.
Oh,
here is
your
great.
vote is for Idris
It's
Elba,
for
but
Idris
then you feel
Elba.
guilty about it because you're picking the most famous person in the room.
Yeah, and I promise that's not why. I just really liked his performance as that character in Phantom
Scott
Liberty.
went to an ice cream shop, ordered vanilla, and is feeling a little self-conscious about it.
Maybe a little bit. I thought he was fantastic
Why
in
don't you
it.
split the difference and vote for someone else?
Well, okay, then let's go. I'd go with
How about
Starion
Ken?
probably.
I voted for Ben Starr.
Yeah, of course
not
you did.
surprising.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I think Clive carried that game. He had a lot he had to do in that game, emotionally and stoically, as well as being like funny at times. And I thought the performance was really good. He also voiced Mario. He also voiced the silent protagonist in Starfield.
I'm not going to fall
And
for
I'm
this again.
pretty sure he also voiced Link this year. So
It's
that's
me,
pretty
Mario.
good. And
Yeah.
while we were talking, wait, play it again.
All right.
It's me, Mario.
I wanted to get
Yep,
one of the
that-
ones where he says, "It's a me, a Mario," but I didn't do it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
terrible.
Mia, a
Why would
Mario.
you vote for
It's
him?
me, Mario.
Well, I mean, that was the first take. He has multiple takes. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
I will
I'm
say
professional.
this: like, I thought Neil Newbon as Astarion was fantastic. Like, not. I think everybody in Baldur's Gate 3 belongs on this list.
Well, you
honestly.
sure don't vote
I don't
that
know.
way.
I don't know if it would change my vote, but
Like, they're the best,
I
but I'm
think
not
that-
voting for them because Yoshi P
I
has
don't
kidnapped my
have
daughter.
to. I don't have to.
Because Yoshi
I
P.
think-
What? What'd you say about Yoshi P?
Kidnapped my daughter.
I'll say the only problem I have with Neil Newbon isn't about his performance. It's that I played a bard and I didn't need a Starion in my party, and so I didn't see much of his performance. He was
Oh.
basically the guy who sat at camp and one
That's
time
your-
tried to drink my blood.
Mm.
Look, I mean, I didn't play Hi-Fi Rush, and I voted for it in an earlier award. I think
All right,
it's fine.
well, throw your vote away. That's fine.
I am looking forward to seeing Melanie Liburd as or Liburd, however you say it, in Alan Wake 2, because I hear she's just great in that.
Yeah.
So-
Again, everyone on this list did phenomenal in the things they did.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, Cameron Monaghan, for as much as I make fun of just redhead Jedi, his performance in that game is awesome.
Mhm.
Like, he sold me on a character that I hated so much I almost didn't play the game. I was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing another just generic, like, the feature of this Jedi is he has red hair. Like, what is this? I'm so mad.
Yeah.
And he sold me on it, and like Cal Kestis, because of his performance, is now a character I'm excited to hear more about. That's huge.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Everybody on this, and as much as we're poking fun at Scott, Idris Elba was great in Phantom Liberty.
Mhm.
Like, I just, if they had put someone else from Baldur's Gate that was in my party more, they might have stolen my vote.
This
But
is
I
a point.
didn't get to see much Astarion, unfortunately.
This is a point I wanted to make, is that they kind of messed up just giving it to Neil. This should be the entire cast of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I'd vote.
It should be an award for the whole thing's a damn achievement. They're just gonna give it to one guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway,
his stood out, but it stood out for kind of fabulous reasons, like, and that's fine. But because it was the most like, he's the character you love to hate. He's the character that has always got some quippy thing to say. It's a little easy to do it, even though I think his performance is excellent. But they're all good in that game. Everybody
he has a very
puts in,
distinctive voice that we haven't heard in gaming a lot, and his character is also gets a lot of attention. But like, the narrator was amazing. People love Karlak.
Yeah,
Karlak
awesome.
was like so much work from all the voice actors. Like, it's kind of insane just to say, oh yeah, Neil did great, when like, honestly, the entire cast, they just give them a collective award. Like, I'm sure they'd be all fine with that.
Like, you look at some of these characters, and honestly, he had it too. Again, this is a problem with my playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, which again is a testament to how good the game is, because I didn't have to interact with him. I still got an amazing experience, but like, for me, if I was going to try and fill a role here, I would probably give it to Devora Wild. I had to look up the name just to be sure I was going to get it right. Who did
so
Lae'zel?
good. Yeah.
Because Lae'zel is a character that is antagonistic across the board to you. She treats you like shit.
Mm-mm.
And
yeah, no, she treats you like shit.
and up to a point.
She loves me.
Yeah.
Well, we get there. But that performance, like, carries you through this like journey of somebody that starts off so antagonistic and then becomes a close ally. And I guess the same could be said for Neil Newbon, because, you know, I did, even though he wasn't in my party, I did do his big quest, so I did get redemption, and I did get to see the kind of tortured soul trying to get revenge, trying to get power, but also turning it away. Just didn't spend enough time with him to give him this category, but I feel like every single one of these voice actors belongs on this.
I do. Let's not forget Jennifer English, who did an amazing job with my favorite girlfriend in the entirety of that game.
Scott
Shadowheart.
fell in love immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, it should be the whole cat. Like, I mean, them singling out Neil is kind of like them being lazy, like being unbrave about recognizing, because you're like, of course it's a great game, so let's like hold them back a little bit to make it even for the other competitors. It's like, clearly the entire cast, like, they nailed it. They hit a home run so hard it smashed a satellite into a million pieces that flew out into the outside of our solar system and made first contact with alien species. Like, that's how good the VO is in this game. Compared to, and they're just like, they basically hamstrung how windmill slam dunk giving this award is to Baldur's Gate 3 by only nominating Neil.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I already think the Game Awards suck, so it just proves my case further. So,
thank you. Put that in the court record. Beau has
Jeff, if you're listening, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, I have lots of notes.
Yeah.
On how you run your show.
How to do your thing. You let me know if you need some help. Speaking of help, innovation and accessibility is our next category. We'll just tear through this because it's a smaller category, but an important one. Diablo 4 got mentioned here. Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spiderman, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6 all praised for focusing on letting or having ways for more and more people to play their games, whether it's sight stuff like color blindness or controller use or using special controllers, that kind of stuff. I think that deserves to be thumbs up.
It's hard for me because I think for all of us, because I didn't really take advantage of it. So I haven't
had to touch it, so I don't know what was good.
Yeah, I don't either. But I like that. I think that's.
I like that they
great.
recognize it. I like that it's getting looked at, but yeah, I just don't.
I'm gonna
I just don't
abstain from
know.
this one. I don't feel like I might vote. I don't have. I don't know.
You don't have skin in that game. You're saying.
No, well, I don't know
I
enough
care
to
about
pick.
it, but I just don't know. Like, I couldn't
It would
tell
feel
you.
weird to do a popularity contest like, oh, I like this game, but who knows how accessible that game is or isn't.
Like, I guess it's like you look at it more like, who do I want to recognize for being an exemplar out of this list? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's hard.
I know there's lots of options in the options screen of Diablo 4, but is that normal or is that good? I don't know. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, someone out there let us know. We got some fans that need some of that stuff more than others, and I would love to know who's doing it the best. Best ongoing. I'm going to skip ahead to this one. These are games that are still ongoing and being updated. I think Cyberpunk 2077 deserves to be on this list, despite its controversial beginnings.
Yeah, I agree.
Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 16 is listed here. Fortnite and Genshin Impact. No MMOs. WoW is usually on this list. FF14.
There's one MMO. Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, that's
right
14.
there.
I read it as 16.
He thought it was 16 because
Yeah,
the
my
protagonist looks like Clive.
Because they all look like that guy now.
Yeah.
They all look like Clive. You're absolutely right. That's why I screwed that up. So, sorry, I take that back. So there's your ongoing game. I actually think Dragonflight, after my intense couple of weeks of play, deserves to be on here. I think it's very good.
Yeah, and a week after BlizzCon, when they're kind of doing good shit. Anyways,
Absolutely
I guess
not.
I think it should. It belongs. Here.
You are such a victim of recency bias. Scott.
I would
You're
put
like,
this
Chris
on here.
Metzen said, Chris Metzen said the words.
No,
and I played the game this week.
I know that's easy for everyone to think or say, and it's fine if they do. I'm telling you, that's not it. I'm saying things like Genshin Impact. Get out of here, dude. You need to not be here. What are you doing? You're ongoing, but you're not that significant. Hightail it out of here. Apex
they're only
Legends,
ongoing because they have new microtransaction boxes.
I feel like you would probably feel different if you liked Genshin Impact.
I haven't played it,
Just
so I can't
like
say.
you feel different because you like WoW right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I gave this to Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, so
but
did
no,
which
I
is
still
funny.
think the WoW case should be made because they released hardcore WoW servers this year. One of the most trending gaming trends, and the devs listened and put those servers in.
And that's ongoing.
That seems like best ongoing to me. Like, okay. Anyways,
yeah,
but
whatever.
I think they should have put hardcore WoW. That would have been awesome.
Cyberpunk.
Jeff, I have lots of notes. I can make your show way better.
Yeah, Keely's on the phone, ready to call you any minute. I'd watch for that call.
Well, at this point, it's an issue with the jury, right? Because the jury didn't pick it.
Yeah, but you kind of Jeff. They probably short. What jury is this then? We need new people to pick a jury.
You can find out. You go.
It's a jury of people that had no idea hardcore WoW was happening, even though it's plastered everywhere.
Scroll to the bottom, and there's a thing that says jury, and you can click it, and you can find out who the jury is.
It should just be a
I'm
smiling.
gonna start besmirching people on
a smiling picture of
live.
Justin Robert Young down there, and that'll be fun. That'd be pretty funny.
Yep, it's just him. Just jury.
Just jury.
So voting jury overview: U.S. digital trends, easy allies, Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, baby.
Lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
Entertainment Weekly. Come on, PC Gamer's on here, but
I like PC.
Wired. Who wants to hear Variety?
They're fine. All of those are fine.
Beau is so grumpy.
Variety has games writers. They're cool. They're all right.
Yeah, it's all like gaming journalists. Who cares about those guys? I don't know. I just like,
who are they going to ask? Well, now they're asking us.
Invested in gaming.
Yeah.
Why didn't they go to someone like Beau, who played 1 out of the 6 games nominated for Game of the Year?
Well, it's different. This is exactly what they do for the Oscars. It's the exact process. They have people who are part of the Academy are actors, directors, producers. Like it's all just part of the money machine. It's the same.
You happy that Dick Serto's on here? You know, the one that tells you about which streamer pulled out their penis?
Dick Serto? Who the hell's that?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Streamer tabloid rag.
Really?
You never heard of Dick Serto?
No. Dick Serta. Is that the name of it?
Dick
Or it's a
Serto. Just look it up on Twitter.
Okay. I'm looking.
I don't think Scott's going to spell it the way it's spelled.
Is it like the mattress? Is it like Dick and then
No,
I
it's like
guarantee you Scott is spelling D-I-C-K right now.
It's like freaking dexterity.
Oh. Dex.
Here, I'm looking
I follow them on Twitter. I know who this is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you just never say it out loud because it looks like Dexterro or something, but it's like Dexerto.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is Amaranth doing this week? .com kind of.
Yeah,
site.
it's all about just streamer
I mean,
culture.
sometimes it's interesting, but I don't want to hear their opinions on games. Even the people
So
that
you
follow
don't
them,
want to hear from games journalists. You don't want to hear from
That's
new
not a
age
games
streamers.
journalist.
Who do you want to hear from, Beau? Who is it? Just you that should
No,
be
no.
on the jury?
We're talking about producing. It's not that I'm on the jury. It's that I'm picking who's on the jury. I haven't had the time to think about who should be on that jury.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this jury's bad. And so
Because they didn't pick what
it's
you
not,
want.
this isn't, I want to be on the jury. This is like, I need to be producing the thing and deciding, because like, and calling some shots on some of these like decisions.
Yeah, we got to get you in there, man.
Yeah.
Let's get that done. How about this one?
Clean
This
the
one-
place
No,
out.
no. Like you laugh, but like you didn't laugh when Chris Metzen came back to Blizzard because the man has taste and
Oh, dude, I would love it if you
shape
were
and
in
direction.
charge. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm smarter than the average person at this kind of thing, especially in the gaming space. I would improve your show 15-fold, like
Wow.
just because I'm me. Like
Take
arrogant, sure, but I believe it. So
All right.
there you go.
There you go. Make a game in a
Yeah,
weekend. And run the games awards in a lifetime.
In a lifetime.
In a life. I couldn't finish that sentence. How about this one? Best community
Wait, what
support.
did everybody pick? Because I feel
Oh.
like we talked about what we would have picked if it was a different list, but what did everyone
we
pick
said
from this one?
I said Cyberpunk ongoing. You said
said
Cyberpunk,
Cyberpunk.
and Beau said
Yeah, Cyberpunk too, as
Okay.
well.
Oh, okay.
Although
Never
my
mind.
pick would be Hardcore WoW
We
if it was
did-
on the list. But
right. Okay, best community support. This one's funny because one of them is Destiny 2.
Destiny 2?
And they
like,
just-
that's what are they doing?
Well, they
Like,
did these. They got these
Terrible headline after terrible headline.
right, but they're not. They
of
can't
them
yank it.
suing the community.
But they
Like,
can't yank it out after. So the news about those layoffs came after this process was done.
No,
so
but it's been year long. Like the bad news. The bad news with Destiny has been year long. Like this recent shit is not just what's recent. It's
Yeah.
for the year.
but customer support wise, they've been doing fine. They take care of their community.
No, they've been doing terrible. There's lots of complaints about Destiny. People are really mad at that game.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Bungie's on here for that.
I mean, we're
wouldn't
not
pick
connected.
them.
We're not Destiny players here, but I have like popped into a few Reddit forums over the past year to just, find out, as well as read the articles about how Reddit's like suing, or not Reddit, Destiny's, they're suing people for like weird reasons, stuff like that. They're like, even they came out and admit their communication was bad this year. They
got
did
the-
actually, and they did actually do that. Why is this on the list?
I mean,
judges, what are you doing?
It is a
Asleep
little
at the
weird.
wheel.
It's a little
Anyway,
weird.
sorry. I'm gonna like chill out. Hey, board shows piss me off. You're seeing it live.
Yep, you're watching in the
because
process.
of how dumb they can be. And this, oh my god.
I
Anyways.
don't disagree.
I'm voting for
fundamentally.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 for that, for customer support. I think they did a great job. I also think Cyberpunk is a redemptive story, but I think being great on day one gives Baldur's Gate 3 a advantage there, and they never really faltered, and they just kept improving. No Man's Sky's on here, so is Final Fantasy 14.
Yep, the 14th one.
We
not
got
the
the right one.
16th one.
So John, you have a couple of rats in this race. What do you like here?
I gave it to 14,
Yeah.
but I would feel good about Baldur's Gate 3 or 14 or No Man's Sky. I don't really like, the hard part is I'm not really in many of these communities, so it's kind of hard to say like, well, how are they serving the community? Like Final Fantasy 14 is really the only one I know how it's serving the community. I know how Baldur's Gate 3 is serving the player base, which is kind of a broader community, which is why it would be kind of my other thought for a vote. Like they got feedback, they change the game in response to that feedback. That seems really, really good. So again, it's just hard to say. Like I
Yeah,
know what general sentiment has been around Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, but even No Man's Sky. But I don't know what those communities are like and what kind of support those communities are getting.
Yeah.
So,
I think where you can sort of hang your hat a bit though is like community support, transparency, and responsiveness. So like not just like because we think of community managers or how the people are, but maybe also just how they talk about their patches, updates, apologies, things like that. Maybe
Yeah.
yeah,
because I would say like I want to give the award to Diablo 4. They've been doing very good fireside chats and discussions and been pretty genuine for the most part and responding to questions and stuff. I'm sure that's true of Final Fantasy 14 as well. I don't know about No Man's Sky. we love their updates.
That's the thing. That's where I don't have any issues with No Man's Sky, but I don't really hear anything from them until they go, "Hey, there's another big, huge free update," and we go, "Great, I'm play again."
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to them, even though probably they're fine.
I actually do agree, like with what Beau's saying with Diablo 4. I don't know if I would give it to them, but I certainly applaud them for their transparency. Like they have
clearly made an
up
effort
to the
right?
problems, and they've put a lot of effort into it. So, yeah, I think my vote is Final Fantasy 14 because that's the one I'm the most familiar with. But
I actually think I'm going to vote for that too. Because I don't think these guys. I think they probably do it the best. So.
I've always loved their transparency. Like when people go, "Hey, I have a problem with Final Fantasy 14," it's this. They are out there holding up printout pieces of paper with images on it saying, "Here's why it doesn't work." And I've always really appreciated.
I feel like
sometimes
they should
it's
get
Yoshi P himself doing it.
That's true. I kind of think they should chip off a little of this trophy if they win it, and hold it to the side, and then put a little Post-it note on it that says, "This piece is not part of your trophy because it represents your shitty website and your sign-up system that you still have for your otherwise awesome game and experience and support."
Okay.
But Final Fantasy sign-up stuff and all their launcher shit is freaking bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
And that's a customer-facing thing, so fix it, you a-holes. All right. I don't really care, but I just thought I'd freak you out for nothing.
That was such an impassioned speech that I don't care.
I don't care, though. Best independent game. This is one that for me, is controversial because I just think indies are really important right now, and I don't think they get enough love, but this is where they get it. Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. I played all of these games, except, Cocoon. I didn't play Cocoon. Tons of Dave the Diver, lots and lots of Dredge, enough of Sea of Stars that I know that thing's pretty special, and Viewfinder is very cool. Of these, though, it's Dave the Diver, 100%. That game's rad. It's not going to be everybody's.
I'm going to be controversial on this one.
Okay, what do you got?
I've only played one of these games.
Yeah.
And it's Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give my vote to Sea of Stars.
Oh, man. I mean, Sea of Stars, you know what?
Why you do this? Why you do this all the
because
time?
I can. One, because I can.
Yeah.
And two, because I didn't like Dave the Diver that much. And I'm sure I will like Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. Okay, you know what? I need to get back to it.
Is so corrupt.
I need to get back to it. And when I do, Sea of Stars probably takes the lead overall in the long haul because I was just a few hours, well, I don't know, probably 5-6 hours in, and then got distracted with Starfield and everything else coming out. And I definitely need to get back to it. So I guess I could maybe go either way on that. I just spent a ton of time in Dave the Diver, and it had loops I love. But knowing how much I like chorecore and stuff, like Dave the Diver has a bunch of chorecore in it. And that's probably where I lean. So,
well, was there a controversy with this game being truly independent? I just saw a mention of it in our Discord with the listeners.
So they're a subsidiary of some huge company, and this was like a little side project that they greenlit. So there is controversy as to whether that means you're independent or not, because basically they have like a huge sugar daddy that's there the whole time. So I don't know. Maybe it's splitting hairs.
They're dependent on their own corporation.
Don't most video games at some point have a big sugar daddy help them out one way or another?
When we say indie games, though, colloquially, we sort of mean the Papers, Please, or Fez. Or Braid. Like there's a guy, he made a game, he hired a few friends, and they made art and sound, and they put something out. That's real indie, right? It's like the punk bands that would play in the basement and make cassettes, and then record studios made punk bands that look like that, but they're super corporate backed.
But see, I would still call Supergiant an indie studio, even though they've had a massive success, but it's all on the backs of their own independent work. They're not like, sucking in tons of investment cash.
I just don't think that's where the term comes from. I think it's like corporate taking over the term. You know what I mean? At this point,
I kind of feel like we have an RPG situation here where
doesn't mean the game's bad.
It's a term we all use. We're like, oh yeah, that's a role-playing game. And then when you have to try and explain to someone why it's a role-playing game versus something else, and all of a sudden it all falls apart, you go, well, wait a minute. I guess I don't really fully understand what this is and what this means. I think it's sort of the same thing. I think there's a lot of ways you can interpret what indie games are, whether that's, their nature, like their scope, their scale, the amount of people that worked on it, their art, their design, their budget, who created it. Like there's a lot of ways to interpret it. I don't see why I would look at Dave the Diver and go, but it is an indie. It looks and seems like an indie game to me.
Yeah, that's true.
There's the argument Scott made about not voting for Idris Elba, like applies here to that thinking too, because then if you're voting for industry plants, they're taking up room and mind share for actual grassroots indie developers.
Sure.
And whether that kind of thing matters to you or not, like the big companies have enough money, they're going to do it anyways.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the thing in music, was nobody likes an industry plant because it's not genuine expression. It's disingenuous. It's based on a lie, and people don't, when they find out, they don't like that. It makes them feel manipulated or like just a consumer.
It's the same reason they don't mind hearing that there's a plugin for Classic WoW that does AI voice readings for all the quests, because it's upfront about what it is. They would be pissed beyond belief if Blizzard said, "Oh, by the way, all our NPCs here moving forward are AI based." Somehow that'll rub everybody wrong. And part of it is because it's coming down from power. It's a whole punching up thing, right? So like Dave the Diver being a subsidiary of somebody else seems less genuine than the team that made Dredge is a very small team of very dedicated people who sacrificed a ton of time. And, John's right about the definitions, though. It gets real screwy about what independent means.
I own Dredge. I have to play
Dude,
it.
Dredge is great
because I think it looks amazing and it looks right up my alley. I own 3 of these. I own Dave the Diver, Dredge, and Sea of Stars. I've only played Dave the Diver.
Cocoon's on Game Pass, and I meant to try it because people were raving about that. Now I kind of really want to, seeing it on this list again.
I think where it actually is an issue, it's not solvable because this is just how we do capitalism. So it's yelling into the wind a bit. But saying something is an indie game, it's like an earned. It means there was a struggle there.
Mm-hmm.
And, rich people all the time are trying to pose as everyday working class people. Like that's even the history of jeans. Where jeans were they were the clothing of the working class, but the leisure class adopted them because that makes you fit in, look like more normal, relatable human being. It's like, it's that again. Like it's, it's like, yeah, we're an indie studio. It took a lot of work to get us over the line. But we got there. Okay, recognize indie games, everyone. And then, Microsoft's like, we're making indie games too.
Yeah, we're making
Microsoft.
Blizzard an indie company again. And I'm like, no, they're still beholden to you, though. You own them, so you're not really independent.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't play Dave the Diver or think it's a great game. It's just the category independent games means this was a unique struggle to get out the door.
Yeah.
And sorry if you do have Daddy Warbucks in the wings that can help you through some lean months, and you didn't struggle in the same way.
I would take Ziggurat to task just a little bit, because he says like, oh yeah, Team 17, the indie publisher. They all have publishers, not all of them. Maybe one or two publish themselves, but most of them have publishers that do all sorts of games. I don't think we have to get publishers is a way for people to get your game sold while you're busy making it, and you don't have that kind of business capacity. I don't think that should be held against anyone if they use a publisher, because publishers are used by everybody. All these, Devolver Digital, their entire lineup are quote unquote small team indie games.
Well, and that's what I sort of meant when I said, doesn't somebody with money ultimately always come in anyway? Whether that's, Sea of Stars got carried on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be like, oh, Microsoft? It just gets ridiculous at a certain point when you do it. And honestly, this is where I turn into Beau for a minute. I hate this. I hated this when this was a discussion with music, when you'd be like, oh yeah, I like this band, and you'd always get somebody and they know more. I'm not saying they don't know what they're talking about, but goes, that's not true. They're sellouts. And it just drives me crazy. It's like, just play what you like. Just play the games you like. And why are we so caught up on this? I get, because we're trying to recognize it. You want to make sure the right people get recognized, but I don't see anything offensive in that list of games that immediately bothers me. So I just feel like it's fine.
It's just
No, I agree with you. I think it's just problematic when you're handing out awards and you're saying, look at these struggling developers. Let's give it to the one that struggled the most. and then one of them's Microsoft. Like that's a big two.
That's a good
I'm telling you, I should be.
You should be in charge. It should be Beau Schwartz.
I should be on consultation, and yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump to best mobile game because this is John's favorite thing in the world are mobile games. We have Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. That's an early lead for me. I really like it.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure is apparently pretty good. Honkai Star Rail. I didn't play. Monster Hunter Now, I am playing and quite like it. It's basically Pokemon Go, but for Monster Hunter, and it's quite good. And Terra Nil, which was a Devolver Digital game that I didn't get a chance to play, but that also ended up on mobile through, I think Netflix Games had that deal.
That's kind of crazy that what they got on mobile. That game sounded interesting, by the way.
It did,
was also in the Games for Good Causes, which we sort of skipped over.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't played it, but it looks interesting.
I don't think I got to the Good Causes.
I voted on this category.
Oh, you did? What'd you vote for?
Yeah. I gave it to Hello Kitty Island Adventure because it gets name dropped in the World of Warcraft episode of South Park.
Uh-huh.
And I don't give a shit otherwise. So
right.
I that felt like a good way to throw away my vote so I could get my achievement for voting in every category because I'm a gamer, goddammit.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna give me an achievement for something, you know I'm gonna vote for everything, even if I don't believe it in my heart.
Yeah.
So Hello Kitty Island Adventure got my vote.
Nicely done. Final Fantasy Ever Crisis got mine because I played it the most out of all these. Monster Hunter Now is another take on like geolocation, Pokemon Go stuff. It's Niantic making it, like it's kind of their wheelhouse. It's quite good, but I think Ever Crisis is the bomb. I really like it. It's weird as hell, but I like it. Beau, you notice none of yours that you play and love are on here. No Pokemon.
Abstained. I haven't played any of them, so no votes.
No Snap. No Snap on there for the second year. One last year.
We already know how Beau feels about achievements, so telling him you get an achievement if you vote for all of them.
Yeah. No Rumble because it's too new.
Him.
I don't know what else. What did you? Oh, the Mighty Doom I think should have been on there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Mighty Doom was pretty solid. I don't know, it was Diablo Immortal this year? That was pretty solid. I guess it was last year, right?
Yeah, I think so. Immortal was 20.
I don't know. It's mobile games. They shouldn't have a category, but I'm not gonna. I've used up all my salt, I think, on this thing, so I'm gonna try and play them back on.
Well, how about this salt? You got salt for best VR AR in that category. We have Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, which I have a code for. I got to find somebody who has a happy home for a PS2 or PS3 headset. Humanity and Resident Evil Village VR mode and Synapse. Did you play all these or any of these?
Love the category. Love to see the enthusiasm for it. I think these are all PS2 VR games, which it would be tempting to be mad about, but the good Oculus stuff isn't really, and Steam VR. What I'm saying is PlayStation deserved it because I don't think PC really lit a torch under big innovations. So
Call the Mountain.
Congratulations to all the nominees.
Yeah.
I can't vote on any of them because I don't know which one's the best here, but they all look fantastic.
I'm going to give it to Horizon Call of the Mountain because I like Aloy. Take that.
I gave it to Resident Evil Village because I like tall women.
Big hats.
That's true. I'll give it to that one too. Yeah,
John likes big hats.
That's the closest I've been to wanting to experience something in VR. So there you go.
Big green
that
boobs.
gets it for the biggest temptation.
Your best action games went to, I see a couple John played on here. Armored Core Fires of the Rubicon, Armored Core 6. Dead Island 2, which I almost bought the other day. It was on sale somewhere. I didn't do it, but I want to. I keep hearing it's pretty good. Ghost Runner 2 is on here. Hi-Fi Rush and Remnant 2. John, you played a couple of these at least.
Yeah, I played Armored Core 6, and I played Remnant 2. And honestly, I would be really hard-pressed to pick between either one of these. And ultimately, I gave it to Remnant 2 simply because I haven't put as much time in Armored Core 6. But that might even be better. It's hard. Like, both of these games are like in my top favorite games of the year. So
yeah,
I don't know which wins. I want to spend more time in Armored Core so I have a better idea. But I currently have my vote on Remnant 2.
I'll bet money Remnant 2 wins. I would vote for Hi-Fi Rush because A, I played it, but B, it is just some pure good old fashioned, here's a video game, go have a blast kind of game, and I really like it. And that's the action
There is
category.
some insanely cool stuff in Remnant 2. I am a little sad it didn't get recognized for more. Like, there is an entire world that is an upside down world, and like it reflects the world above that you just explored. Like, there's just some really awesome things in that. Likewise, Armored Core 6 just controls and plays exceptionally well, and I've said it before, is exactly the game you want it to be.
Yeah.
So,
Jumping ahead to Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield.
wait, why can't we do Best Action Adventure?
We can. They just do the same games we talked about like 8 times over. And so that one's
No,
got...
because I've finally had a chance to recognize. I'll just say it quick, since nobody else wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor didn't
Hell
get
yeah.
recognized in a lot of categories. Was a freaking awesome game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I gave a vote to Jedi
Agree.
This is a good
Agreed.
place for it to win. I don't know if it will, but I would hope. I bet you I bet Spider-Man gets this one.
It was actually a really good game. It has the unfortunate thing of being early in the year, and not
and a rocky launch. Yeah.
Yeah.
and a rocky launch, but it actually was a huge improvement over the first one. It's a great game. So I think it deserves it.
It deserves it. I'll bet Spider-Man wins though, because I just have a feeling.
Oh,
Not because I
Scott.
like it better. I don't pick it. I just think that's who will get it. Best RPG, we have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. I'm going to vote for Starfield because I spent more time in that game. Now, I know Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win this. No question.
Well, I don't know.
That shouldn't be a reason not to vote for what is the best achieving game.
I'm just
right?
saying the one I had the most fun in is the one I would vote for, and I had more fun in Starfield than anything else I played this year. That's not true, not anything, but of the new games, like I think I liked Phantom Liberty and just getting back in general into Cyberpunk in general was probably my favorite, but that's, it's not an option on here. But I mean, Baldur's Gate, how does it not win this? Of course it does.
I remember one year at the Video Game Awards, and I got really mad about this. But there was a game, I don't remember which game it was, but this did happen, where the game that got Game of the Year didn't win its subcategory. So in other words, in this case, let's assume Baldur's Gate wins Game of the Year, right? It wouldn't win Best RPG. That drove me crazy as a viewer. I was like, how can it be the Game of the Year overall, but not the Best RPG, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that there is some merit to taking an opportunity to recognize a different game. I just want to say that because my vote went to Baldur's Gate 3 anyway. I do think that there is a level of merit to say we have an opportunity to recognize an additional game this way.
Yeah.
But I still voted.
This is how they split up movies for the Oscars. They'll have a Best Picture, and then if it wins that, they will sometimes not give it to the director, even though it's like, well, wait, if it's the Best Picture, then the director is probably Best Director. Like, why are you splitting this up? I think it's the same kind of thing.
Feels like a snub.
It's always a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Chat's talking about the exact same thing. It's funny. All right, Best Fighting Games. Let's get. Oh, Beau, did you have a fight in there? A cock in this fight?
What?
For
the RPG thing?
Yeah.
Obviously it's Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even
I'm kind
know
of
why I
only
asked.
here to support Baldur's Gate 3. I don't really care about the rest of the games, although I'm going to do it with integrity.
Well, if there's one thing
I'm not going to disingenuously vote for Baldur's Gate 3 if I feel something's better.
There just aren't enough Baldur's Gate 3 stands in the world, so I'm really glad that you're putting up for the underdog here.
There's not
brave.
enough.
The brave
awesome
stands.
There aren't enough TTRPGs. You're not going to see another Baldur's Gate for 10 years. So
I know, it's sad.
voting and letting them win sends a message about how unacceptable that is, and maybe they'll, some good developers will chase trends and we'll get some better games.
Where's that 40K CCRPG?
Political.
Thing? When does that come out? Do we know? Wasn't that this year?
Supposed to be sometime this year, but it is.
I'm looking forward to
I don't know. I think that'll be good too, but
yeah, it may not compare. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Best Fighting Game. God of Rock. Didn't even know that was a game. Still don't.
What? What is God of Rock?
Still
Don't know. Still don't know what it is. Mortal Kombat 1. No offense. I mean, I just haven't heard of it. Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I know what Pocket Bravery is.
Do you? Is it based on an anime or something? Probably is. Anyway.
Just being dirty.
Oh. It didn't click, but now I get it. And Street Fighter 6. I have a feeling Street Fighter 6 will win this category because people are feeling like it got overshadowed this year, and it deserves to get shadowed. So I think it's going.
A lot of people talking about it. Maybe that's just because I follow Patrick Beja on Twitter.
He loves it.
But I heard a lot about Street Fighter 6. I'll continue to show my lack of integrity when Beau talks about integrity and voting.
Yeah.
I gave it to Street Fighter 6 because the only one of these I tried to play was Mortal Kombat 1, and it ran like shit on my PC, so I gave it to their strongest competitor.
Oh, man.
So,
Hell hath no fury like a John Scorn.
I know people at NetherRealm Studios listen. I'm sorry, don't release a janky ass PC port. So I'll play your game, I promise. Like, I was very hyped for it. No,
what if you hate StarCraft? Or
I get an achievement for voting, Beau, but only if I vote in every category.
What do you
wait? What?
Where do you get the achievement? How do you get it?
You get it by voting in all the categories.
Yeah, but which achievement where? It's a website achievement, or what is it?
I don't know. It's down at the bottom of the page. It says you earned a badge.
You got a Jeff Keighley badge.
Achievements here corrupting. Now John is voting when he shouldn't vote because of your corrupting achievements. You see how it warps us?
Oh, man. Democracy isn't all we thought it was.
I'm only bringing it up because I knew it would trigger Beau even worse.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you're doing. You're playing me like a piano, and I love it.
Beau, do you have a do you have a key on this piano you prefer one over the other in the fighting category?
Best family? Oh no, I'm not voting. I haven't played any of them.
Oh, none of these. Yeah. Okay, you're abstaining again because of your.
And I don't have a good read on. Sometimes you have a good read on the genre, and you're like, "That's good." I don't have a good read on fighting games. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, best family. This is pretty cool because there's a couple here I want to play and I haven't. Disney's Illusion Island. I loved all the old Disney Disney Mickey's. Magic, whatever. Yeah, Castle of Illusion. Amazing series of games on 16-bit systems, 8-bit as well. Love that whole run. And this looks like such a cool take on newer stuff. And so I really do want to play that. I love the art here. I don't know if these are based on a cartoon that's on Disney Plus now or something where this is how Mickey and his friends look. I don't know, but I love the look of it. Just real simple and cool. Party Animals is that one that's on Game Pass where you're all tugging on each other or something? What's the deal with that? Does anyone remember?
Yeah, it's like Gang Beasts, but
yeah, same dev, I think. Even.
I played it. I this is the only one of these games that I played with my family.
Yeah,
and I'm not voting for it, which should tell you how that went.
Oh Lord.
Party Animals led to a extremely big blow up in the household, and as a result, I cannot vote for it for best family game. Something that created that level of strife and problems
in the
cannot
family.
get a vote for best family game. So it is the only one I would not vote for. Is the only one I've played.
All right,
it was fun and charming up until it wasn't, and everything fell apart.
That's awesome, dude.
Also,
I know it was not awesome, but it's awesome that you have that opinion of it.
No, I love it because actually that's categorically smart to say did this work in a family scenario, and it didn't for you. I think that's a great way to vote. That's a perfect way to vote, is not vote for that one. Pikmin 4 is on here. I don't know why. I thought that was a single-player experience, but I guess I don't know. I didn't play it.
Maybe kids stand around and go, throw the Pikmin.
Maybe.
Okay, and then they go, yeah.
Could be. Sonic Superstars and Mario Brothers Wonder. I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder probably wins this, if I had to guess.
Wasn't Sonic Superstars pretty good, though?
Yeah, I heard good things.
I heard good things.
Out, right? It's really barely out, though. Sonic Superstars. Let's see what the Steam reviews say.
$80, wow.
Mixed. Why is it mixed?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Wonder then.
And some, I guess, bugs. Every time you launch it, all kinds of bugs. Some kind of
Novo, perfectly average game. I don't know.
I gave my vote to Disney Illusion Island because it's the one I want to play with my family. To be clear, Super Mario Brothers Wonder would be, and my sister-in-law bought it for my stepson.
Yeah.
and he didn't say thank you. He just went, this one. And he has had zero interest in playing it since he got it. No interest in it at all, and I feel like I can't vote for it for that reason.
Why?
Again,
why?
I have a reason not to vote for it because nobody in the family except me is interested in playing it.
Why does?
In fact, actually, I just realized now I can play Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I don't have to buy it.
Yeah, you should
We
play
have it.
You should
I
play
keep
that
forgetting it because he gave so little cares that he got this game that he didn't even thank his aunt.
How old is
and
he?
Then
what's his age?
He's 11.
All right, that might be when they start. They think they're peeling away from kid stuff a little bit, and they think Mario's kid stuff.
He just wants to play Fortnite and Rocket League. That's all he
Yeah.
wants to.
Yeah,
That's it. If it's not Fortnite or Rocket League, who cares?
Rocket League got something real dumb. What was? Oh, Lightning McQueen. So dumb. That's dumb. I don't want to play Lightning. I don't want to put Cars characters in there. I know it's a good fit.
Hey, you know what? Here's where I gotta eat some crow here. I used to give Cars.
I like
ration
Cars
of crap.
1. I like Cars 1.
I have now seen Cars 1, 2, and 3 more times than I can count.
Yeah.
I've seen Cars on the Road. I've seen the Mater's Tall Tale shorts more times than I care to admit, especially the Monster Truck Mater, which at least is the best one, but it's like 5 minutes and then I have to watch it again. I have really come around on Cars in a way that I never thought I would. So much so that my son picked a video on YouTube because he saw Lightning McQueen in it, and somebody was using toys to recreate the scene from Cars where they tip tractors. And in the video, the guy has Lightning McQueen honk his horn to tip the tractor, and I went, "This is bullshit. Lightning McQueen doesn't have a horn. There's no truth in this art.
This is not
Lightning McQueen
canonical.
has to rev his engine to tip a tractor. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Why did they have him honk a horn?"
Yeah.
And then I realized I was too passionate about Cars and that I have completely turned around.
Yeah, you went down a path on that. I like that scene. It's because the tractors are like cows, so they're cow tipping, and they're like, and the thing goes, and then lands on its back. It's great. First Cars movie, love it. 2, terrible. 3, better.
2 has a morbid, I have a morbid level of enjoyment because Cars get friggin' murked in that movie.
Yeah, it's a spy movie.
If you've seen too much Cars, there is some catharsis to be found in 2 when you see him getting blown up and crushed.
Yeah, I guess I also missed who was the actor that played the old car that raced him and beat him.
Oh,
what's wrong with me?
what's his
Paul
name?
Newman. Paul Newman.
Yeah, Paul Newman.
When he died after that, I was just like, oh. And that just put me off it, I think, for a while. All right, where are we? Where were you here? Oh, we still have a lot of these. Okay, I'm going to tear through these.
Yeah, we can go
No,
through
we're
them
about
quick.
to get to the junk that we just skip all of them.
Best sim strategy. I don't know if none of us played
Oh,
these.
that's not junk. Yeah.
Well, it's not junk,
I didn't
but
play. I gave a vote to Advance Wars 1 and 2 because it's the one I want.
it's the one I want to.
I think it's a crime that War Tales isn't on this list, considering what I'm seeing here. Sorry. But
War Tales should be here.
I'd agree with that.
I agree.
And I haven't played it, but
Yeah.
I want to play
I
it.
have,
very
and it's
badly.
a shame that it's not. See, it's
and
again.
there's probably others I'm missing, I guess Fire Emblem Engage, but City Skylines has been panned.
Yeah.
Why is it even on the? It's so lazy. It's
panned,
incredible.
but I don't know. Some people are just
it's an ongoing game and it'll be better later. But
Yeah.
it's been out 2 months and it's not a good scene. Why is this up for an award?
Yeah, it's a little
Full
weird.
stop.
It's a little
You
weird.
Lazy. Corner cutting.
Here's your sports.
Same with Company of Heroes 3. Actually, I think that kind of got chewed and spit out too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, his first
People
two
were
games
not
are so
happy.
good. I was too nervous to even check on
Yeah,
them.
I think there was a lot of hype for that, and I think even I was keeping an eye on it, and then it was it's mixed on Steam. Also another failure, basically, up for an award. What's going on?
Yeah,
Keely?
Beau's pissed. What's happening? Best sports and racing. They just crammed these together. EA Sports FC24 used to be FIFA. They dropped the name. F123, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, which I haven't played yet, and Crew Motorfest. Actually, I haven't played any of these, so
I gave this to Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 because I played a lot of Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Oh
1
yeah,
this
you
year.
like
one's
that,
great. One's awesome.
Yeah.
Fan. Liked it. Here's one. Best multiplayer. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6 and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm going with probably Baldur's Gate. I like Diablo's
Like
stuff,
hands
though.
down, Baldur's Gate for me. Like Baldur's Gate is a feat in a like it's insane how well it works. With
A 4-player
online.
multiplayer TTRPG, whether or not you played it, is so rare. Because when we were finished playing the Divinity playthrough, Mike and Crofton, who I bring up on the show, they're not in the know on video game stuff. They said, "Sweet, what game should we play next?" I'm like, there are no other games that exist that you played the one game that exists. We wait for Baldur's Gate 3 and that's it. Yeah. And we had so much fun with it. It's a shame that those are the words I had to say at the end of Divinity. And now we have 2 of them.
Yep.
Yay. But
whatever they're working on, they're being hush hush about it, but they already are working on whatever's next. Maybe that thing will be out sooner. I don't know. I hope so.
I'm just saying, I like the idea of showering BG3 with awards for these kinds of things to send a message that we want more.
I like the idea of showering, honestly. Full stop.
Well,
I didn't take one today, so I'm just saying.
All right. That's because you got your Steam Deck to ripen up.
Yeah, I got a real Steam bath today from Steam. Thanks a lot, Valve. How about this one? This is an interesting one. Adaptations, and this isn't games, but properties based on games. Castlevania Nocturne, which I have heard amazing things about its final season, or its new, or whatever this new season. It's kind of different.
It's a new season.
Gran Turismo, which
continuation.
I think Gran Turismo was a weird one because it did not critically or audience wise do that great. It's
also like District 9 guy, right? Like the director's a weird one.
Yeah, the Blomkamp guy.
So it's like, why are you making this movie? Like, I guess he can make whatever he wants, but it just seems like you don't want to make a Halo movie or a Metro. Imagine it's like that's the guy you go to when you're like, I want to do a live action Metroid adaptation.
Hell yeah, I love District 9
race car show. Like, oh my god,
he's kind of been hit and miss though since District 9 was a bit of not a fluke, but we just haven't seen that much since. I mean, Chappie
was all right. Like and Chappie, I like Chappie. I don't know. I think he's fine. Maybe he's not a 10 on 10 every time kind of guy, but
yeah,
I don't want to see his take on race car video game.
Well, the movie,
I'm negative interested.
The movie's not about the game. The movie's the true story about the kid who won the contest and then got to race for real and has an actual racing career, but it had to do with him.
That was a true story?
Yeah, it's all based on a true story.
Oh, I didn't know that was
and
a
the
true
guy
story.
that the story is based on is apparently one of the racers in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he would later go on to do racing stunts in the story about himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a professional racer now. It all came from video games. He was an esports.
Don't want to see it, I guess. Yeah.
I like the actor in it. He's the kid's in this show C on Apple TV, the one where everyone's blind, except for a few people. Him being one of them. I love that show, and he's very good in it. Last of Us was probably my vote because I thought they killed it. I thought that was real good. That will probably win. That feels like
That's
the
my
one.
vote too. It was good. I had a few misgivings here or there, but it was solid. It was very entertaining.
Super Mario Brothers movie and Twisted Metal rounded out. I think Super Mario Brothers is a competitive one. So for me, Last of Us and Mario are going to be head to head a little bit. Twisted Metal, I actually heard if you give it a shot,
I heard it was surprisingly good, especially considering how bad all the previews leading up to it was. This was one of those things where every time they showed something of it, people went, "This is going to be the worst show ever." And then I heard it is actually pretty damn good.
That's what I heard.
I haven't seen it. My vote is going to be The Last of Us. I did think the Super Mario Brothers movie was good, but I thought the Super Mario Brothers movie could have been great. Instead, I just thought it was good. I thought The Last of Us was going to be a mistake to make. Like, I didn't think it could be done, and it surpassed my expectations. In fact, it even delivered what I think is its best episode, and it adds to the game and diverges from it and is not a retelling of that, which I think is incredible. So I was really impressed with The Last of Us.
Nice. Let's move on to... So that's all three of us are saying Last of Us. That's a strong vote there. Let's move on to most anticipated game because this one...
Beau's favorite category, most anticipated game.
Yeah. This feels like, though, we could have you can have some differences here. It feels like some strong entries. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2. That's big. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, big. Star Wars Outlaws and Tekken 8. I'm personally excited about Star Wars Outlaws, but I know a lot of people are worried about Ubisoft things that I'm not particularly worried about, so I don't know why they're worried. But anyway, it's hard for me because for me, this top 3, Rebirth, Hades 2, and Like a Dragon sequel, I want all that shit. Yeah, that's hard.
There's no difference on any meter. Like if those come out tomorrow, surprise, instant purchase.
Yeah.
Like I'm rushing out to play any of these 3 games.
Why is Tekken 8 on here though? I mean, come on.
Well, for fighting
someone
game guys.
someone likes Tekken.
You know what? I know it got some bad press because of all the microtransactions that they are now apparently stripping out, but the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League or whatever it is. I would put that on here before I'd put Tekken 8 on here. I don't know what they're doing.
That's the problem with this whole category is like, how do you determine what has achieved the most in anticipation? There are 100 games on the way. Like, this list is shockingly Spartan for any number. Who's excited for Squadron 42 or Star Citizen? Should Star Citizen not be the most anticipated game? They have done the best out of
People
any
have
developer
sold their house
to not release
in
a game
anticipation
and
of that
make
game.
anticipation a decades long, wait. You know what I mean?
That's what they make. They make anticipation and spaceships. Those are the
Exactly.
two
So,
things.
we got to take all these with a grain of salt. They would be better if they hired the core crew to help them consult on making good game awards.
Yeah.
I don't want to consult on that. Just for full clearance. I don't want to consult on it.
What if you got paid in Jeff bucks, like 100 Jeff bucks every week?
If Jeff would give me a new PC with or without blood in it, I would consult on the game.
It's not a free gig, John. We're getting paid.
Oh, okay. We're getting paid. I'm in.
All right.
You get paid for your
Let me show you the
labor.
power of money. I'm getting paid. I'll do it.
You're getting paid money. You're getting paid. You're getting good health insurance. You're getting
Oh shit! I was in with just money.
profit sharing. Yeah, they're giving you everything, dude. So now you're in, and you're voting for Hades too. Admit it. That's what you want.
I did vote for Hades too.
Did you?
As a matter of fact,
All right.
I'm with you on. I'm 100% with you, and I think the first 3 games on here are all incredibly hype worthy. Hades 2, I feel like Hades was such a flash in the pan surprise. I don't know if Hades 2 can live up to it. So I think I took anticipated in the what if all of these are great games, right? Like forget, oh, it came out busted. Oh, it turned out to not be a very good game. In a world where all of these games come out and they are as good as they can possibly be, Hades 2 would be the thing I would be the most excited for.
All right, fair enough. Beau, you just like these are all good.
I agree with Hades too, probably if I had to measure it, but I'm really looking forward to Like a Dragon. But it's out in 8 weeks, like whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna vote for
that too.
anticipated game that's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
really
weird.
nice. Yeah.
It's a weird category. My next one I hate. It's content creators of the year.
We are done.
I'm just gonna mention this.
Any more of these?
I just want to
hang on. We
mention
should
this
do content
because
creator because there's a
people
good one
make
on here.
games. Middle guy up
Yes.
here. People make games deserves this, and they better win because Iron Mouse, Quackity, Spreen, and Spheric pick or whatever the hell you say that. These all look like people I don't want to be sitting next to on a bus, let alone voting
Yeah.
for them. I'm voting for
Never-
PMG. That's who's
Never
getting-
heard of, look lame, but People Make Games did an awesome journalistic documentary on Disco Elysium that we talked about.
It was
this
so
year.
good.
Oh,
Big
okay.
fan. Big
All right.
fan.
I'll give them a vote for
Yes.
that. That's fine.
Yeah, vote for
Yeah.
people make games. They're good.
I don't know. I don't know who any of these people are.
I mean, we can skip best esports.
Yeah, screw that. That one just makes me mad. Esports athlete, who cares?
Who was the best coach, guys?
Who
I don't
cares?
know.
Potter, Zonic, Gunba, or Hom?
It's the one with the beard. I'll give him that. Oh wait, that's everyone.
We're done. We got through it. We did it.
Did we do them all? That is it. Yeah. Okay, we did it. That's what's happening. When that thing's live, we'll probably have some live coverage of it here. I don't know how we'll do it, but we'll do it. When is it? December something?
Early December.
All right. When we know we're closer to it, we know what we're doing. We'll try to do a co-stream and have a little fun with this and see how we all did.
Yes.
It's a Baldur's Gate sweep, though. I believe. In
So,
every category.
as a little precursor to this, I watched the Golden Joysticks, and Baldur's Gate walked away with 7 awards.
Someone informs me in the chat that the one girl is a disabled VTuber. I'm not making fun of that. I'm making fun of this category. All right. Look, even if they put core up there, I'd be uncomfortable. I want like something cool, and I think those PMG guys are like making journalism in games, like for real. I really like what they did. So that's all I'm saying. I'm sure she's very nice. Keep your emails to yourselves. All right, moving on. Oh, December 7th at the Peacock Theater. All right. So that'll cost you, unless you want Peacock Plus, it'll cost you an extra $5 a month. Just kidding. That's a terrible joke. Let's move on to to today's discussion of what is even next. I don't even know. Or our week in gaming. I played. Okay, I said earlier that my life in the last week, 2 weeks really, has been almost a mirror image of the year 2012. And you might say, Scott, why is that? Well, I'd answer this way. In 2012, all I really played was Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft, which I think in 2012 would have still been Mists of Pandaria leading into Warlords. And this has been that kind of week for me. All I really played, with one very small exception, which I'll get to, was World of Warcraft. Tons of it. But I'll talk about that after we lead in with a Dear Martha letter. This is perfect for this, right? So we're doing this. John, are you ready for this?
Yeah,
this is how we're leading
I'm
in.
playing World of Warcraft again, so today's Dear Martha is tied to that.
All right, so let's just do it. Whoops, that's quiet. Let's do it with volume.
My dearest Martha. Hey, Martha. First off, what's up? Great. Now, you may have noticed I'm not around so much these days, and it's because I'm back in Azeroth. That's right. I'm playing World of Warcraft again, despite the fact that you told me this was over if I ever went back to being that person. I guess one of us is about to look pretty silly, huh? Anyway, I just wanted to try the game, so I'm not bothering with any add-ons or anything, especially because this new expansion updated the UI, and that's mostly what I used add-ons for, so I'm sure it'll be fine. So right out of the gate, I log in and I'm assaulted by what I thought was an ad for an in-store item called a gear update. But turns out it's just something they offer returning players to get them up to speed with current content. The problem is it doesn't tell you exactly what you are getting and isn't smart enough to know if you actually need it or not. So when I went to log in on my main character without taking it, it warned me that doing so would mean I'd miss out on all of this free stuff. Was I sure? Well, I wasn't sure, so I took it. But then it removed all my gear and bags and replaced it with stuff that was worse than what I had equipped. My inventory shrank and everything I had been wearing got mailed to me. But it didn't show up right away, so I assumed the things in my bag were what I had been wearing. After painstakingly adjusting my armor, because WoW is not the MMO with the Equip Best Armor button, and it is apparently an add-on that previously flagged gear in my bag if it was better, I had equipped my old armor and transmogged it. Except it wasn't my better armor because the gear I had been wearing chose that moment to show up in the mail. So I once again went back to my inventory to re-equip my best gear. Once re-equipped and re-transmogged, I was ready to go. Well, almost. I noticed my bags had also been added back to my inventory, and they were all bigger than what was gifted. So I started replacing them, which proved harder than it seemed, because at the end, it only wanted to accept the bigger bag if there was nothing in the smaller bag that was being replaced. I got it done, though, and I was now ready for adventure. At least that's what I would have been saying if my inventory wasn't now a complete mess, which it was. So I had to fix that first. This will be easy, I thought. They added a clean up inventory button, and that is sure to fix this mess. So I clicked it, and my inventory became what I can only describe as organized chaos. In theory, it was clean. Trash items were all near the bottom of the window, though they didn't fill bottom to top like you'd expect. Meanwhile, other items seemed to be split among individual bags with little rhyme or reason. After 30 minutes of messing with settings, it still looked terrible, and the reason is that even though I was looking at a single inventory window, the game was still treating the bags as individual entities and filling them left to right, top to bottom. So I then spent another 10 minutes looking for a setting to fix this, and there was no setting to be found. A quick Google search later revealed that this problem is actually easily fixed by downloading an add-on. Okay, screw it. I'll just live with it so I can get my adventure underway. I've spent too much time looking at this inventory screen anyway, so let me just drag it to where I want to open it from now on and we'll begin. I'll just drag it. I'll just drag it. Just gotta find the right place to click and I'll move the window where I... Okay, so you can't just drag the inventory window, but that's okay. They fully redid the UI with customization in mind, so I'll just find the inventory window and move it in the UI editor. And Martha, that's when I discovered that the inventory window is not part of the UI customization window. Surely they don't think everyone is happy with their inventory opening locked in the bottom right of the screen. There must be a way, I thought. Well, a quick Google search revealed that there is, in fact, a very easy way to move the inventory window. You just need an add-on to do it. Yours in this life and the next, BRB Heidelin 85.
Did you write that, John?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because you saying all that stuff made me log into my character because I thought maybe I might have missed my mailed items.
Did you do a
Like
retail
that whole
character? You did a retail thing?
Yeah, I logged into my two main retail characters, you know, just to check things out, right?
Yeah.
But I was in for like 2 seconds, and I boosted them, and I'm just noticing it replaced my 30-slot bags with the upgraded 22-slot bag. Like what? What is like? Why did you just spam me with bags I don't need now? What the hell?
So it gives you stuff if you choose to. You can say, "Don't send me my stuff." If you're just like, "Give me a fresh start," you can do that.
But they don't tell you this.
No,
they
don't tell you
what they're sending you.
Oh, right, that's true. They don't tell you that, but
they don't say, "Hey, we're about to take your 30-slot bags down to a 20-slot bag." They just say, "Hey, if you log in without hitting yes to this, you're going to miss out on the opportunity for this free stuff." So of course you say you want free stuff. Who doesn't want new free stuff?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I guess I didn't run into this problem because every character I did this with, and I did it with like 5 characters, they were all everything was an improvement for me, like bigger bags.
How, Scott?
'Cause
You
these are
played more
old
Dragonflight than me.
Oh, I know, but that was all with GURP, and GURP didn't get this. You only get this with stuff that's like older
but
than.
I logged in on my main. No, it was offered for my main character. My main character was significantly better.
You talking about your evoker, your new the dragon?
My rogue.
Oh, your rogue.
My rogue. Yeah.
And your rogue was what level when you logged in? 50, 60?
I had gotten to the Dragon Isles.
Okay, so 60. So that's a little weird. I don't know what the trigger is because GURP never got the trigger, and neither did my mage, and neither did one other character. But everything else did, and they were kind of all over the place level-wise. So there must be something with class combos, something about a class that needs it and others didn't, because some did, some didn't. So I'm not sure what that was about. However, on the paladin that I'm also alt leveling right now, and is now halfway through Dragon Flight, was awesome because I did that. I got all better gear. I got a 2-handed hammer if I wanted to do ret and play that way, or if I wanted to be a protection paladin, I could have the shield and stuff. Like, it was all there. It was better than anything I had in my slots before. Like, I kind of the opposite experience. I think that's what they intend, but there must be some weird mismatch going on with some combos of either character or level or something. I don't know, maybe changes they made to them. It's really weird. But yeah, if you're at 60, the chat Shoujo's saying don't do the gear update if your character is level 60 or higher. I think that the game should probably not prompt you to do it if you're there.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree.
I've been away for like multiple expansions, so I was like, yeah, I guess I should update, right?
Yeah.
You know, it said my gear would be safe. I didn't feel like I was gonna lose anything based on what they said. So I was like, okay, it should be fine.
I mean, you technically don't, but it certainly made unintentionally more work for me. I will say, because I like that letter was fun and it's just for fun. And I have had a good time with WoW. I did end up just making a new character because I don't remember how to play WoW, obviously. And so I just made a new rogue, and I think I'm up to like level 38 or something like that on the new rogue. In my efforts to relearn how to play this game, because it's so new and so different. So I will say, for anybody that's hearing that letter and going, John hates it, he's crapping on WoW. I'm having a
I thought you were spot on, personally.
I'm having a very good time, but that is a 100% accurate description of my first several hours in World of Warcraft.
Welcome back to World of Warcraft. Now spend 2 hours doing inventory management as your first thing. Like, I have so many items in my bank and bag, I don't know what to do.
See, I didn't have any of that. It's weird. Especially, well, GURP, my main never had that, but my these other alts, like this paladin, it was a big improvement. So it's weird. It's weird how different those experiences are. Obviously, they need to tighten that up because that's weird. I don't think they should give you smaller bags and F you up that way and worse items. That makes no sense to me. So it must not be that smart of a system. However,
it was not only worse items than the gear I had on, it was worse items than the gear I had just sitting in my bag. Because that's part of the problem, is I just had a bunch of shit in my bag that I then thought was the gear that got taken off because it's been so long. I don't remember what I was wearing. I was like, I guess this is the gear. The only hint I got was I didn't have a chest item. And I was like, well, I had to have been wearing a chest item.
Yeah.
What's going on? Where is this?
Yeah,
and then I thought my items got deleted.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, it's that is a very weird experience that you had with that, and it may not even be isolated. I'm sure other people went through it. Sounds like Beau did. But
just was not I think I probably should have skipped it. It would have been fine.
I am playing. Skipping it probably would have been fine. I'm playing because you're going to quickly outgrow whatever gear they give you anyway, which I did almost immediately. I'm having a very good time right now. More fun than I've had in a very long time, and I don't know what the deal is here. Part of it is, there's an aura with Chris doing the announcement, and excited for things to come. But I also genuinely really like Dragonflight's content, and leveling another character through that content again, which I haven't done in about 7 months, 8 months, whatever, has been really fun because I want a tank alt coming up here soon that I can alternate between GURP and him. But getting through the story in the Emerald Dream stuff, freaking amazing. Love it. Finally get to hang out in that place. I think it's incredibly well realized. There's some story points that some people complain about that I don't disagree with, but overall, just tonally, I'm really enjoying that stuff. It's nice not to be in the maw for the next 6 months. It's a very good expansion, and like I say, it feels like 2012 around here for me. I just cannot get enough Warcraft at the moment. I'm just loving it. So just playing it, feeling good. Freaking paladins are so much fun right now. Oh my gosh, it's just a great class. Yeah, I don't have a bad thing to say. Not a lot of new things to say either, because it's Warcraft. It is what it is. Yeah. But I'm loving retail.
As the new stuff comes along, maybe if you try some of the dungeons or stuff. I think probably right now what we're experiencing a little bit too is we're not overlapping on our Warcraft play experiences.
Right.
It's definitely about as fragmented as you can get. John, have you been playing retail or have you been playing classic?
I've been playing retail.
Okay.
I missed basically all of Dragonflight. So I want to try it. I want to get my character through it and kind of caught up, because I do plan to play The War Within when it comes out. But I was in this weird place where it's like I genuinely did not know how to play my character anymore. And so I had to kind of refigure out how the talent trees I think are incredible. Like, that's been kind of my time with leveling up. I'm like, oh, these talent trees are great. But when you open it after you've never seen them before in your life, really, Short of like, oh, I played a day of Dragonflight and saw it briefly, it's daunting. You're like, I don't know what to pick. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And on top of that, my action bars are a crazy mess because the UI got changed. So starting over fresh really was a good way to kind of reset that. I'm now at a point where I feel like I could switch over to the main, but I'm having a good time going through and kind of experiencing it organically. I'm playing on an alliance character, so I'm kind of getting to see a different side of the world. Although I was in the back of my head thinking of making a video kind of in the spirit of like what I just did with the Dear Martha. So I was kind of trying to play as what would be the perspective of a new player.
Mm-hmm.
And I do find it very interesting that new starter island leads directly into Battle for Azeroth. I was like, oh, it's interesting that's where I've wound up. It doesn't lead you to Chromie time to pick your expansion.
Oh, it doesn't? That's interesting. You only do that once.
It just sends you right to Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah, you only do that one time on the server you're on. Once you've done that once, any other character starts at level 10, and you start right with Chromie time. Well, you also spend some time in the embassy deciding what race you're going to be and all that stuff, but they've changed some of that stuff up, or at least on the Horde side. I can't speak to what's going on. Oh, one thing they did, and I'm so happy about this. They finally took all the allied races up to a point out of the rep grind zone. So if you never did the grind in Legion to unlock everybody, you can now just get to 40 or have a character at 40, go to the thing, talk to Chen Stormstout looking guy, and he'll send you on those quests that do a bunch of cool story. I just didn't do these before, so it's not known to me. I never wanted to grind it. But I always wanted a Zandalari Troll. I always wanted a Nightborn. And I never unlocked them because I just didn't want to do all that Suramar stuff. So I went back to do those now, and they just let you go start those quests and do their whole things. They've got great little story, great little cutscenes, fun little fight thing to do before they pledge themselves to the Horde in this case. And I really enjoyed that, and I liked it so much that I hate Blood Elves. I've never liked them. All right? They laugh like that. They walk funny. They stand funny. I don't like them. I hate them. They have a bad attitude. They piss me off.
My main character's race, but thank you.
I know, and that's fine. And you can have them all, John. Take the entirety of what's their town? Silvermoon. Have the whole thing. It's all yours.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was so sick of looking at him for this paladin that I went and spent $17 because they're on sale right now. I did a $17 race change, and I went and became a Zandalari Troll. And look,
Zandalari Troll Paladin is pretty cool.
It's awesome.
I don't blame you for that necessarily. I do like the trolls, and a Zandalari Troll Paladin is pretty damn cool. I will say that.
Yeah.
But also that did remind me that is another reason why I'm playing Alliance, because I went to the character create screen, and even though I had no intention of playing Alliance necessarily, I saw the grayed out races for the allied races, which I don't even know how, but I have some of them already unlocked. I must have done some work at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm still missing like Mechanome and Gilnean. And it just bugged me that those are grayed out. So I was like, well, I gotta go.
You don't have a Gilnean?
No, I don't know how.
You can't be a werewolf?
Well,
no, I'm sorry, not Gilnean. The other one.
Shit.
The Jaina's people.
Jaina's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jaina's.
The pirate.
Coltiran.
Coltiran. That's it.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
I do have Warden.
That's funny you say Gilnean, because they're part of this next patch they've got on the PTR right now, Seeds of Rebirth or whatever it's called. Yeah. That includes going back and freeing Gilneas from whatever's still there being pissy. I do not remember the lore on that, but there's a whole liberate Gilneas.
The undead bombed it.
Yeah, maybe that was something to do with that and Lordaeron and all that. But then,
because I think it used to be a starting zone for the Worgen, but then you couldn't go back after you did
at the end of the Worgen starting area.
Oh,
the undead invade, and then Sylvanas unleashes a plague on the city.
Yeah. The other thing in that patch I'm very excited about is dragon riding, which has turned out to, for me anyway, to be an incredible feature that puts to shame all previous flying models in the game. And it's the only way I like to travel now. I love how it feels. in this next patch, whenever it drops, should be in the next couple of weeks. They're making it worldwide or Azeroth wide, so anywhere you are, you can fly dragon riding style, and I cannot wait to do more of that. I love getting around that way. It's so much fun. It really deprecated old flying for me. Yeah, what else is there to say? I haven't done any group content yet, really. I've done mostly, solo, going through quests and stuff, getting Gerp all caught up on story, and now working on the second character. And I'm just having a blast. It's as much fun as I ever had. Part of it is November and December for me are WoW months anyway, my whole life. Not just because that's usually when expansions come out, my whole life. Since the game started. It's usually because the game comes out around then or updates around then, but also I just associate it with colder weather and hunching around my computer and playing all night. And I don't know, I just have a lot of fond feelings about that experience. So anyway.
But I think
Good
safe
time
to
of year
say,
for it.
Beau, you have not been in retail WoW. You've been doing other WoW adventures.
That's right. No retail WoW here. So I have it in my section, but if we're gonna do it all together, I do have like announcements because
Yeah, let's just talk WoW.
Let's do it. What do you got?
Yeah, so I'm doing the Saturday community stream,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of meant for it to be a core community stream, but all are welcome until we can figure out, I don't know, how to integrate that into Patreon, or maybe we just do something different for that. But that's kind of sort of the idea, right? A lot of people in our listenership like WoW and think it's fun when we play. So Scott and John, open invite.
Yeah.
So Saturdays 3 p.m. is when we start WoW community stream, which was, we're doing hardcore, right?
Yeah.
So we tried the hardcore raid, and it's not a great idea.
So
It's like be whatever level. We can't do quests. We're just gonna roam the countryside and safely kill things. Well, within 30 minutes, I got like a level 5 and level 6 killed because they were dangling behind, and we're trying to move through packs at a certain pace. But classic WoW has respawns, and if you're the little turkey gnome in the back, and some Trog respawns and picks you to attack, you're pretty much dead.
I mean, that's their fault. You gotta it's kill or be killed out there in hardcore WoW.
If
you
that's
venture
true.
from the path, it's on you.
Yeah.
That's true, but I did kind of, the initial pitch was like, we're all going to go out in a giant group, maraud, and we're all going to come home, right? Because there's many of us, it's going to be safe, right?
Then their mistake wasn't being slow. Their mistake was listening to you.
Exactly. And ignore that, Jeff, though it doesn't apply for the Game Awards, but it did apply for WoW. It just is not a good strategy. Mostly, it's not because of the death even, but yes, I'd have to become more of a drill sergeant because there's new skills in hardcore WoW. You really have to be mindful of your positioning. You have to understand aggro. So when we go out there, I'm expecting you to know that. And it's just, if you haven't played it on your own or understand these things, you're just going to get annihilated. And that's what happened. And also, the XP gains aren't worth the risk. The amount of penalty you get, we'd have to mow through content at a good clip, which doesn't make it worth it, especially since we have... Excuse me, still sick, guys.
No worries.
All kinds of skill levels. So, we couldn't do it. So, I think what we're just going to do is I'm running a 5-man. I'm doing the streamer privilege thing, be at my level. If you die on your days off, I don't know to what extent I'm going back to re-level your alts and shit like that. And we're going to do that until Season of Discovery starts. And I think we're going to switch the Saturday stream away from hardcore to Season of Discovery. And again, no one has to die there. We can all play as a community, do some 10-man Black Fathom Deeps, and help each other find all the sweet tokens, I guess we'll get for abilities. So, yeah.
I wish I was more interested in classic than I am, because whenever you describe hardcore, I go, oh, that'd be so awesome. And then I think, yeah, but I don't want to play the old game. I don't want that.
The thing about it is, and I've done this, I think a lot of people are excited, so they play a lot. I only play Saturdays 3 p.m.
Okay.
So it's, and my rationale is, I played all week and had 3 characters, and they died in their 20s, and I was really depressed about the time I spent in an old game, just dying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a more comfortable relationship is just to play 1 day a week. Like, I don't, if I'm going to play more, maybe I'm going to play retail or something like that, because I can't You know,
That
I
makes
sort of
sense.
agree, right? Like, I'm not going to spend all my time in the old game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be true of Season of Discovery as well. Like, there's so many gaming experiences. I am not becoming a Warcraft content creator that's just going to stream WoW for you guys all the time. Like, that's not happening.
No.
Like, 100%. Even if I wasn't streaming and it was just my own personal playtime, no way I can play Warcraft all week anymore. No way that that's an interesting option, I think. But I like the game enough that I'd play it a little bit, and it seems like the dev team is changing World of Warcraft, like from BlizzCon, to be that, which is why I'm even interested in the first place. So there
So
you go.
3 p.m. your time, so that's
Yeah,
Eastern?
3 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. ish. You
Okay.
don't have to show up at 3. You could show up at 5 and play for 2 hours.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Go check it out. You're at, I forget, did you change it to Beau Schwartz on Twitch?
It's Beau Schwartz,
Okay.
twitch.tv/Beau Schwartz. But
Okay.
anyways, that's community updates, 3 p.m. on Saturday. I usually stream for 8 to 10 hours, so show up later if you like. And I might not be a stream this week. As you can tell, I'm still sick with the Rona.
Stupid
So
Rona.
if I'm not better, I think I'll be better in 2 more days. But if I'm not better, there may not be a stream.
Well, take care of yourself first, and we'll see how
Exactly.
things
Yeah.
go. All right. Well, there's WoW. It's a game. It's still a thing. Still a threat.
It's still out there.
Yeah, it's still out there. I also played crap ton of Diablo. Oh, I wanted to read a note for John real quick. I almost forgot to read this. This deals with WoW a little bit. Hi, core team. I was listening to one of your shows where John mentioned he didn't like that he would have to always play WoW at night. Hence, the game would only ever be nighttime for him. Now, this is a little hilarious because your dear Martha would have mentioned there's an easy way to deal with this, and it's an add-on. Anyway, I recently discovered for myself that there is an item that turns night into day and vice versa. It's called the Jar of Sun-Warmed Sand. It can be bought from Otella in the Caverns of Time for 1,000 time-warped badges. This way, maybe John's character can finally get some vitamin D. Kind regards, Kukila. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I will say this. I had a couple people mention this because it comes up as like one of my number one complaints about the game right now is because I play a lot of my free time is at night, although that is changing. My wife and I had one of those weird conversations you have when you're an adult. Nobody ever tells you you're going to have this conversation where you go, hey, what if we put an effort into getting a reasonable amount of sleep every night? And that's just a discussion that you have as a human being.
Yeah.
And we decided that would be a thing we would try. So free time is coming less and less from losing sleep on the back end and, staying up until midnight. I'm going to do my best to not talk about this and go on a absolute rant about the WoW toy box, because I have ranted about the WoW toy box enough in my life, and I don't need to bring it up again. But yes, I have this item. I went and bought it on my main tune because I had the badges, so it was easy to do. It is, you activate it, and for the next 2 hours, the game will appear as if it is noon in the world. And the item has a 24-hour cooldown.
What? Okay, now hold on a second.
Every 24 hours,
Did you play more than 2 hours though?
Well, and so that is where it gets you, but it annoys the shit out of me that it's true, because it feels like the old man charm, right? Like, you're an old man now, you don't get to play during the day, you only get to play at night. So here's the thing, we'll give you 2 hours for 24 hours. But it turns out that's really kind of all you need. But it also annoys the shit out of me that that's true, because it makes me very aware of how little game time I actually have.
Yeah.
They do let you buy pinches of the sand so that you can just use like a more casual, quick, like it uses it up. And it almost feels like a penalty for being a responsible adult, because you can just keep sinking your badges into this. I think Blizzard needs to just come up with a better solution. Make it 2 hours for 2 hours cooldown,
Or make it toggleable for the entirety of whatever. Like when you know how moonkins can look like normal instead of a big chicken, and that can be permanent. Just let people do that.
It's so arbitrary. The entire toy chest is full of the most arbitrary cooldowns in the world. Like, oh, I was in an inn, the only place you can play it, and I played the first 3 notes of Diablo's theme, and I can do so again in 18 hours.
Yeah,
Like,
the cooldowns
so
are
stupid.
The cooldowns
I
are
hate
stupid.
it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, that
never
is
want to
actually not
abuse
smart. Yeah.
I never want to abuse my friendship with Randy.
Yeah.
But I saw
Uh-oh.
him reply one time on the WoW community where someone was like, the cooldowns on there are so bad. And I think he just casually responded with like, what's the problem with them? And when I saw it was Randy who did it, I almost sent him a diatribe. I almost went through and took a screenshot of literally every toy in my toy chest with what the cooldown is and what the cooldown should be. It makes me so mad. But it's fine. And it does solve the problem. WoW also notoriously stays daytime longer than most video games.
Yeah.
So like we play on an East Coast server.
Yeah.
And so it like is still actually daytime even when it's like dark here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like it's still daytime in WoW. So you get around it a little bit. And this trinket will be enough. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm still on like principle mad about it.
How do you feel about day-night cycles in games in general?
I think that when I was a kid, I thought it was very cool that WoW reflected when I was playing.
Yeah.
As an adult, I hate it. I like seeing the shift. I like being able to feel like you spent a day in the world. Now, some games do it really well. And some games can look extremely janky as the shift in shadows as the sun moves over can look really bad and distracting, and sometimes that doesn't look great. I think WoW actually handles the transition really well and elegantly, and it kind of, the fact that they do it well makes it more annoying that they don't have a faster day-night cycle in the game.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I have no problem playing in what looks like night to me. Until you brought it up, I actually probably never really thought about it, but it'd be nice. Just give you the option, toggle it on. Not gonna hurt anything.
I thought about it because everybody was talking about how beautiful the Dragon Isles looked, and it was just a big, dark, nighttime mass every time I played. And I was like, "What are you talking about? It looks beautiful."
Ooh, it is beautiful. It's
but I never saw it because it was never daytime when I played.
Yeah.
Now there's a solution. It's fine. So thank you for the email. But yes, a couple people had emailed me about this and messaged me about this, and it will work. So I do appreciate the feedback. Everyone who told me, because it will help. That's the most important thing.
Big thanks to I'm grateful that Blizzard did the thing with the allied races, and I'm very grateful that I'm suddenly flying in places I hadn't earned. So I did all my re-leveling of this pally in BFG. Sorry, what's it called?
Big Friendly Giant.
What's
BFA?
No, the one before that, the Warlords of Draenor. Jeez. Before Legion. Anyway, I did. I really like Warlords.
WOD.
Yeah, WOD, just like LFG or whatever I said. BSG. Battlestar Galactica. What's wrong with me?
Yep.
All right. Anyway, I'm losing it all of a sudden. That is real. I love the leveling stuff in there. I went through most. I basically cleared out in a grand before I hit 60, and they now let you. It doesn't just take you out of there if you hit 60. It used to when they first implemented this. So the time walking stuff usually just yanked you out and you were screwed. So you didn't get to see some things finish out or finish some quests. Now it's a scroll. So when it's done and you hit it, you can keep going and even level more if you want.
That's cool. That's nice.
But then when you're done, I cleared out in a grand and went, all right, I'm done. Right click that scroll. Are you sure you want to leave? Yep. And I went off to the Dragon Isles. Was there one other thing I was going to say? I really liked that they made that change. And there was one other thing I really liked that was very good. And I can't. Dragon flying, they decided as an early thing, and I didn't know this, so someone had to inform me of this. I think it was Tanner. But you don't have to go get all the things to build out your dragon. So in the game, when you first are going your first run through Dragon Isles, you're finding these tokens in places that will give you points to then put into a separate dragon talent tree that will make your dragon have more abilities, more capabilities, all this sort of stuff, better speed. How it rejuvenates itself and all that. And you don't have to do that again. Once you've done it, it's account-wide, and you just apply the points. And man, that felt good to be land on the continent, immediately pull out a Drake, apply 46 points, whatever the hell it was, and then go fly the shit out of the place. It was awesome.
It's amazing what account-wide stuff does for the game.
Yeah. Their quality of life stuff have definitely improved.
Almost like the announcement that they're going to be doing that more going forward is what got me to reinstall the video game.
Same, which is partly why I don't want to go play Classic so much, although playing hardcore with Beau sounds like fun, because playing with Beau is fun.
Season Discovery sounds good, because it's going to be different.
Yeah, different stuff. I just still am going to be annoyed that it's like, oh yeah, I run out of arrows. Oh yeah, I can't.
Don't play a hunter.
Not even whatever I play. It doesn't matter. I played all those classes back then. It's just going to annoy me because there
are conveniences that aren't in for everything. You're like, I like it better in Classic. They ruined it in the new one. There's a convenience that you're like, man, I wish that was in the game.
Yeah, I just don't adhere to this idea. I think it's great that both exist. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome, and I love that Classic players get what they want. I am one of those people that likes progress, and I prefer progress. I want them to do good progress. I don't want them to screw up or have bad expansions. Shadowlands is a real bummer. This is a major uptick from that. I mean, this is up there with Legion with me, this expansion. I like it that much. So anyway,
I think the trading post is awesome.
Yeah, it's
also
pretty
that.
good.
Like, I haven't done a ton with it, but like checking that out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the content that I wish had been in the game for all those days where I just flew idly in Orgrimmar, wondering what I was doing with my life. Like, this would have added a little direction to it, which would have been really, really great. And the stuff that's there looks cool, so I'm a big fan of that as an added feature.
Yeah. So we'll try not to make this, the Instance 2.0 moving forward, but there's a little bit of WoW going on.
Some people probably want that.
Some people do want that.
There'll probably be some WoW check-ins for a while.
That's why I'm limiting my Warcraft play to 1 day a week.
Yeah, you don't want to start a new podcast.
Well, I mean, it's tempting, but
No, I get it.
Somebody told me that they did WoW podcasting, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, that's true. We tried to convince people, but a lot of people did anyway.
What people have to be prepared for is that Warcraft is not the only MMO that's played by this panel. ESO is in danger of pulling Scott away at any moment with a sweet new thing. Final Fantasy 14 will have John by the lapels,
labia.
As soon as the vacation walker comes out, or whatever that.
I'm so excited for Vacation Walker.
I mean, that's the premise. It's like everyone's going on holiday.
No, he's 100% right. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. Like if you're like, man, we're creating a foundation for some good long-lived Warcraft gameplay. I'm just gonna rip that Band-Aid off now. 6 months, we're all playing other MMOs. So
anytime anybody's worried that WoW and Final Fantasy are too much in the same place, just remember that the same year that WoW announced a 3-year narrative plan to tell a saga, Final Fantasy announced a vacation.
Yeah. But people are still excited because,
Yeah, absolutely.
Final Fantasy does things that WoW doesn't, and I'm stoked for them.
Well, we just ended our saga, so it's time for us to get a vacation.
That's
We're
true.
at the end of that 7-year plan. Like, that ended. Now we need a break.
Yep, you're right. And just people in the chat are like, "Oh, I love an Instance 2.0." I'll say it now. I'll say it live. The only way the Instance comes back as any sort of regular thing is if Chris Metzen will do it with me once a month. He'll sit down with me.
Not the show, though.
The show, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just do it with me. You just said I'm only doing it. Chris Metzen does it with me once a month.
That's the only way.
I mean, you did it. It isn't a stretch on our part. You actually made it sound.
About to get real sexy in here.
No, you guys
listen. I'm only going to salsa classes, honey, if we do it with me once a month.
Yeah, that sounds about right. No, if he would sit down and do the show with me once a month, it would be lots of lore talk and nerding it out about that part of it. Yes. I would bring it back in a heartbeat. But outside of that, I'm not sure because core kind of fills all the holes.
We've talked about this a lot too. A single game, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is a tough ask.
It's hard.
In this climate.
It's hard.
The esports wave is over where you're like, I'm a specialist in Hearthstone. Tune in to Hearthstoneville where we talk about every new card that comes out. And
It's a lot.
That
Even
stuff's
WoW-
declined big time.
Big time decline.
Even WoW is talking about making a shift to more seasonal methodology for their content. So, like, they're fully acknowledging it is not going to be all WoW 24 hours a day. At least that's not how they're pitching it. So
Yeah, I agree. I just, Beau really he nailed it. That's really the thing. It's just different now. So, and that's fine. I was at that for 16 years, and it did what it did when it did it. But
And when you have that thing, like there's content creators who do Final Fantasy stuff that are like, oh, WoW looks interesting, and their listenership not happy about it. There's like that element to deal with too, where you're setting an expectation, like
the parts of pain.
and you want to respect the people who you did bring in, so you want to be 1,000% sure you want to do a thing about a single game. Especially when Blizzard has also I'm still scorned or burned. This is a Heroes of the Storm show, by the way, guys. Was.
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 Yeah, that's where it
And
started.
they keep teasing me, and I keep being like, no, I'm not going to take the bait. But, yeah.
I will admit, though, Guild Wars 2 keeps getting tempting every time I get playing MMOs again. I'm always like, I ought to be over there poking around in there more. They got shit
I like
going
Guild
on.
Wars 2.
That's the game WoW's poaching from the most right now.
Yeah, those. I mean, this dragon riding stuff straight up out of there. It's different. It's in a
People
different
say
implementation.
Delves
But
is in. I don't know it, but I keep hearing Preach say that Delves seems lifted from a feature that's in Guild Wars too.
yeah, ESO as well. ESO has. I think they even call them not delves. It's like that though. But yeah, similar. It's a very similar thing. So yeah, they're definitely pulling from other places, which I think is good for the game. Everyone else pulled from them. You may as well do some of that yourself. But anyway, I'll talk to Metzen. I don't know.
There you go.
We'll
He'll
see.
talk to Metzen. So just send him a text. Want to do it on a monthly basis?
Yeah, he'll
What he
say, define do it, he'll say. He said this earlier. I wrote him and said, I got that pally to 60-something, having a blast. I decided to go tanky. And he said, love my prot champ. My damage output ain't great, but I'm damn near invincible. It's true. I can pull in like 20 mobs and just chew them apart. It's fantastic. Anyway, more on that later. Let's move on to Diablo, which I also played. And there's nothing new to say, except I played a ton of it, mostly on my Steam Deck. On the now
Fun on
native
Steam Deck?
Yeah, it's very good on Steam Deck. It's and I like I mentioned last week, I had to buy it again because I didn't want to jump through the weird hoops of getting the BattleNet version to just work on a Steam Deck, and it works. But if you do big updates, sometimes it breaks and stuff because it's kind of hacked.
That's a bit sus.
Yeah,
That's a bit sus.
So now this is a Steam game, and
That's a bit sus that they charge you a second time.
Well, it is, but I didn't pay the first time. Someone friended it to me, so I don't feel that bad.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I finally paid for
Change
Diablo.
The principle of the argument.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
The principle is the same, but
No.
I'm allowing it because now I actually paid for the game and I feel okay about it. But if I had to pay twice, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
That seems a lot more reasonable.
But it just runs so well there. It's great. I love it on there. So I've been playing it there.
But
a lot.
for people who would have to buy it twice, it seems,
it's a little
EA did a
excessive.
thing with their Origin where if you owned games on Origin, you could activate them on the Steam library for free. So it's not without precedent.
Yeah, they could do it.
Yeah.
I think they should do it, but they, as of yet, have
Absolutely they
not
should.
done that. I also played a game. This is the only other game I played. I played a little game called Backpack Hero, which I had been looking forward to for a while. It's been in early access, so I just kind of been watching it. And it launched on sale, so I thought, well, I'll grab it at $16 or whatever. It's a little indie game about this mouse that you play that goes on dungeon runs. And instead of fighting with cards or equipment or whatever, you fill up your backpack. It's a little like that one you were talking about, Beau.
Yeah, I've been looking at this one too, though, but never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
one I'd
just
heard of
weird.
a long time ago. I don't know if that other one, if they're riffing on each other or I don't know. But the concept is you have a bag. It has limited slots. You decide what you want to put in there and how you want to arrange it. And then those things will give you abilities, like some charms you can put in the bag, and it'll be like, all right, everything to the left of this charm now has +3 damage. So any weapons on the left of the charm will now have those stats. Or anything below or above or whatever it happens to be. And then you have like a shield, and that shield every time a fight starts just gives you, 8 block or something. Swords and weapons. I tend to overload on weapons, and it kind of gets me in trouble. But some are single use, some are multiple use, some use energy points. But it's basically like a mana system, and it's turn based. So once you're out of the mana, you end your turn, and the other, the enemies have their way with you. And then stuff refreshes, and you keep going. And there's food, and there's other consumables and that sort of thing that you're given throughout the run that you get back at your camp. You're trying to build like a little town so that you can improve everything and then go on your next run. So there's some roguelike stuff going on. It is delightfully awesome. I really, really had fun in this so far. And this is a perfect, I'm on a meeting and I'm playing this while I'm on the meeting.
Casual, like it's auto battles, right?
It's not auto battles. It's turn based, and you are choosing.
Oh,
unlike the thing you played, it's all very it's very deliberate. But the nice thing is it's turn based, so I don't have to. There's no rush.
There's no pressure if you're like someone's like Scott. So what'd you think about that? And you're like, oh shit,
exactly.
What were we talking about? You got it. Yeah,
that's exactly right. And then when you level up, you get more slots in your bag. That's usually the upgrade, and so you can go choose like 3 or 4 new slots. That opens up space. There's strategy as to determine where you do it, so that the stuff you put in there maximizes against the other items you have in there. And I think it's fun.
Put piping in your bag.
Piping.
I'm looking at screenshots, and it's like there's pipes that connect items to other items.
Oh right, yeah. There is some of that. I haven't gotten far enough to do too much of that, but the items get crazier and crazier. It seems like a really conscientious little team that's very interested in feedback. They're now 1.0 as of, I think, yesterday or maybe today.
Oh, wow. Just went 1.0?
Yeah. They were early access for about a year.
Release date 14 November. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty new.
Maybe time to check it out.
I really like it.
I always thought this looked interesting, so you give it a big recommend.
I would, yeah. And I think the price is right. I think it's just great. It's great on Steam Deck, great on PC. It's great mouse, great controller, whatever you want to use. It's great. I really like it. High recommend for Backpack Hero, currently on Steam. That's it for me. John, what else you do this week? You want to talk about wrestling?
Yeah, let's talk about wrestling, because this week was the big free preview number 3. A lot of build up to this one, a lot of smack talking, a lot of videos recorded, Scott calling me out. And this was the big night. This was the big showdown between you and I, Scott. And it ended up being one of the craziest episodes of Frog Wrestling that I have ever done.
I was gone, but when I came back, I saw you posted something on Twitter/X, and you said, "Now that's Frog Wrestling" or something. And I thought, man, what did I miss? I must have missed something good.
So we had a couple of big reveals. The first reveal, which is coming up on the video here, is that a new faction has been born. Scott had previously kicked Beau out a long time ago from Core. He then went and kicked myself and Martha out of Core. And we had, for Scott's big match, Martha came out. She certainly wasn't going to be fighting Scott for the title. And Martha then revealed that she was accompanied by 2 allies, and a new Core faction has formed, Core Blue, which consists of myself and Beau. And Martha, and we have now unified against Scott and Brian Dunaway. And was a great reveal, was a big moment. And then the match got even crazier from there, because the first match ended in a count out that really shouldn't have counted. So the AI got stuck on the steps. It was John stuck outside of the ring, got stuck on the steps, managed to climb back into the ring, and was coming through the ropes. And then the game decided, nope, 10, match over. And everybody was disappointed in it. So I said, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. We're restarting the match. John v. Scott, round 2. Technically, Scott would have won that match. So then we go through another match. John versus Scott, round 2 going. And the exact same thing happens, but with Scott stuck outside of the ring. And then he didn't make it in time. And I said, you know what? People will call shenanigans if I say, oh, John got counted out, we can't in there, but Scott got counted out, we're going to have to allow it. And so we restarted the match a third time.
Yeah.
And had a third match between John and Scott. And Scott, there is a special clip that I would like you to play. It's the link below this one.
All right.
Because the game glitched out in the best way. The final move that ended the reign of Scott Johnson, for whatever reason, went in slow motion.
Now, I'm going to put audio. I'm turning audio on for this clip.
Turn audio on.
Yep. So we're getting the full Monty here, everybody. Here you go. All right, I'm down. My jorts are down. John's getting up
but
on...
I think he's going to go for it again.
Oh, shit. What are you doing
this
over there?
This would be the third. And he gets...
Whoa!
My God, like a Street Fighter slow-mo. He nails it. There's the pin. I don't even know why it was like that. He gets it.
What the crap? Wow.
Oh, shit.
I have no idea why it did slow-mo for that kick. I don't know, but that was the defining kick that ended your title reign and was the end of it. And it, for whatever reason, it went in slow motion and it was incredible.
Oh, there it is. That is crazy. It must have glitched on the ropes or something.
Yeah.
Perfect, though.
It
was a title match?
Bizarre. It was a title match. Scott has lost the Frog Pants Championship.
Shit.
Oh, snap. And you got it?
I got it.
Oh, jeez.
So it's the slow-mo was so weird. It was so bizarre, but it was a crazy night of matches, like title changes, like crazy. The entire Frog Wrestling universe is going to look different next week. So I'm really excited for it. And a lot of cool things coming following the end of Scott's era as champion. We'll see if he fights back. What's his next move? We're going to have to see. I'm really excited for it, but it was an awesome thing.
Check out the VODs at Craftless Rogue on YouTube. Also, Craftless Rogue for live stuff on Wednesdays over on Twitch, twitch.tv/CraftlessRogue. Make sure you watch this stuff. The jorts will be back. I just know it.
The only other thing I want to say is I found my Nintendo Switch. This has been a long-running gag here on Core.
There it is.
That I don't know where my Nintendo Switch is. I have it. It's in my hand.
Woo!
I have a Nintendo Switch. I put in the effort. I put in the time. I don't think it's a mystery which game I put the time and effort in for. I've already purchased it. It comes out tomorrow, where I'm going to be playing Super Mario RPG, the re-release of that game. So it kind of is unfortunate. It comes out on a Friday. I got to go almost a whole week before I talk about it, but I will have definitely played that come next episode of Core.
Nice.
But I did think it would be fun, seeing as it's been forever since I booted up my Switch, to give you guys a little quiz.
Oh, this will be fun.
I booted up the Switch. What game do you think is the last game I played on the Switch? The previous time I had it loaded up, and I've got multiple choice for you. You think the last game I played is A, Animal Crossing New Horizons, B, Pokemon Legends Arceus,
yeah, whatever that is.
Arceus,
yeah.
Metroid Dread, or Hades? I will tell you, all four of these games constitute the last four games that I played on.
So which was the
Switch.
Last, though? We want to know here.
But which one is the most recent? The last game I played before I hung up the Switch.
Beau, do you have a guess on these four?
Hades.
Hades, you say? I'll say Metroid Dread just to keep it different. So Hades and Metroid Dread.
You are both incorrect.
Damn it.
It was Pokemon Legend Arceus.
I've heard good things about that, though.
It was gifted to me by somebody, I believe, and
people like that game. Yeah,
I liked my time with it, but I moved, I think is what happened, and the Switch never got unpacked.
Yeah.
So it's been just living in a box.
My Switch side eyes my Steam Deck every day. It's looking at it like, you bastard, because it took all my attention away from that thing. I feel bad because I love Nintendo and I love Nintendo games, but I don't know, man. Having Diablo 4 in your lap in bed, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, there you go. John, playing Nintendo Switch again, and soon we'll get to hear all about... I just want to hear about what they changed or what really fundamentally changed about the game. Is it just the look of it? Did they keep the systems? Like, Mario RPG is a classic for a reason, but I'm really curious about your take next week.
I already know that you're going to be able to switch your party members on the fly in combat, which is new. So I am excited about that. But yeah, I mean, Super Mario RPG is one of my favorite video games of all time. I'm really excited for it. And because I just remembered that my stepson got gifted Super Mario Wonder, I might have played that by the time we come back too. So
oh, goodness. All
exciting.
right. We'll see what happens then. Beau, let's throw it over to you. We got a little bit of the old hardcore Diablo 4 Rogue 100 business going on.
Yeah, so, we talked about, wow, Diablo 4. I dinged 100 on the Rogue finally. I broke the curse of dying at level 89 on the third try.
Yeah.
I've downed all the new bosses, did all the new content. I'm working on maxing out my nightmare sigils, and then Duriel was quite hard. The second and third attempts, I had to scroll of escape out, but I beat him the first time.
Nice.
But I have to get 2 kills on him to complete the season journey, so not quite done. And then I would like to try and farm some gear and make a build so I can try and take on Uber Lilith. I haven't done Uber Lilith, so that's still pending. But I got to 100, so
nice. Well done. Did that leveling? Because this is now under the new kind of quality of life leveling, where stuff isn't so arduous from 60 to 100 or whatever. Did you feel that in your play? Like it?
Yeah, for sure. It's like 50% or more faster. Like even like my first preseason rogue at 89 died at 150 hours, and then it took 60 hours to get to the same level. So now doing it twice, probably roughly the same amount of time, considering I played 2 rogues to level 89.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this means because I went to 100 next season when season 3 starts, and I'm going to be playing Diablo 4 again. I can play a new class. Like I'll probably try Druid. I'm thinking probably.
Cool. I want to do Druid.
So like each season I do a new class that gives that breathes long-term life into the game. I'm trying to be pace games more. I usually play like 80 hours all in one shot as soon as something comes out. I'm trying to be more of a pacer rather than a sprinter.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that's great. The way you talk about, you've made me think more about playing hardcore because I hadn't thought of it that way.
3 hours.
Yeah, you just
3 hours.
You donate a certain amount of time and you're good. I like that.
Yeah, so I'm starting to parcel out because there's so many games, and some of them I just want to make sure I devote a bit of time to. So
sure.
Maybe I'll devote time to some exercise at some point.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I like that.
I'm applying it to my video game, so there's that.
Yeah.
Not much to say though. It's the same game. Yeah. But what I do want to talk about is, as folks may know, or I don't know if they've gathered yet, but I have COVID. Mm-hmm. I got it after we recorded Thursday. Like Friday, I think so my mom gave it to me because she was out and about. Mm-hmm. It wasn't me that got it because I'm at home.
She re-gifted it to you. Yeah.
It didn't really hit me till Saturday on the hardcore stream towards the end when I'm like, I gotta go, guys. I'm just so tired. Like I could feel it starting to like creep in.
Yeah.
So I've been sick since like Saturday. Usually I'm not too fond of playing video games when I'm sick or watching movies, which is weird because most people like to do that, but I can't look at it. Yeah. But I gotta say, I actually was able to pick up. One of the benefits of COVID is that your face isn't full of boogers and you're not full of diarrhea and stuff. It's a pretty clean illness. Like you have body aches and you're fatigued and it's not fun.
Right.
It's terrible, but it's one of the cleaner ones to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like I was like, because I wasn't sleeping so much, and I slept 3 18-hour days, and I think it gave me carpal problems.
Yeah.
The first time I'm trying not to sleep, like a Dragon Gaiden, came at the perfect time. It's not too hard. It's easy. The story's pretty primary colors, like easy to follow along. That guy bad. Look at what a jerk he is. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, that game's awesome. I finished it. I rolled credits last night. I 100%ed the achievements, but not all the mini games. And I would say Like a Dragon, the Ichiban game, has a lot of tender moments that make you kind of well up and want to cry. It's very emotional, very like a lot of pathos in it. Uh, Kiryu, Kazuma Kiryu, or Kiryu Kazuma, is a very stoic, introverted character that doesn't show his pain, more traditionally Japanese macho or honorable. Um, so they save it right until the end. They save the doozy, and when I rolled credits, I was crying my
You
ass
were
off.
weepy. Oh man.
Not weeping, I was crying. And like just legit, I had tears all in my eyes, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was literally like, very few games get a person to cry. Uh, Sorry, I want to get the name of the company right because I just want to credit them properly. It's that Ryu.
Oh, the
what's
people who
company?
make the Like a Dragon.
Yeah, like Ryu Gotoku Studio.
Mm.
Gotoku. They've done it to me twice now.
Mm.
And one thing to note about this game, it's worth every penny. It's almost the price of a full release. Notably, it's only got 5 chapters, so this is more of a side story for these games. I mean, I still spent 60 hours in it, and the 5 chapters are still 10 to 20 hours of awesome gameplay, but it is shorter than your average Yakuza entry.
Yeah.
Because it's basically Like a Dragon 1.5. Like, it fills in some missing parts of the Ichiban story. So it's like you should play Like a Dragon and then play this one, unless you really know what's going on with Yakuza, because it only really connects at the end of the final act. But it's just a well done game. I'm a big fan. They've made me cry twice. I don't know how I'm gonna. Like, I think I'm in for every entry now. I think they've got me hooked into the franchise, like, for life at this point.
Wow.
And Infinite Wealth comes out in 2 months, and I'm looking forward to playing it. And I hope they go easy on my feelings.
Yeah, because they got you this time. I didn't know this. This team, Ryu Ga Gokutu Studio, their first game as a studio, because they were scattered throughout other parts of Sega, and they were part of the Daytona USA and Virtua Striker games, Shenmue, this kind of stuff. But then AM4, which is their original name, was reestablished, and their first game, Super Monkey Ball.
Nice.
I love that. I absolutely freaking love that.
That was great.
That somehow you went from Super Monkey Ball to this shit is crazy. I love it.
I mean, the game still kind of is Super Monkey Ball. We got to talk about the mini games. The
Yeah.
mini games is Coliseum, where you do hell fights. It's 20 of your guys versus 20 enemy guys, and you just pound the shit out of each other. It's awesome. And like, because you're an agent now, you get agent gadgets. So the rope is like crazy. You just rope a guy and throw him. But I got the super spy shoes.
Yeah.
They're basically just rocket boots. So you just like Superman across the ground, mowing down regular people. Like, it's not like you're fighting supervillains or anything. It's like the enemies in this game is an old skinny Japanese man in a cardigan with a knife. And you're like, come here.
That's great.
Like, you're pounding the shit out of that. But the bad guy Yakuza is really well done. I don't want to spoil the story too much because it spoils the story of Like a Dragon, and I still holding out hope that John gets through. Like a
Yeah, I
Dragon.
need to. I realized I had more time, and it allowed me to pivot to some other things I wanted to get to. But I that is next, and then in the back of my head somewhere, I do swear that I am gonna go through and play at least a bulk of the series. I do want to play all of Yakuza 0, and then I think they did remakes of like, what was it, like
1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3.
I kind of want to do it, but
me too.
I
But
just love these games in a. It's like EVE Online. Like, I haven't actually, like, I don't necessarily love them in the way that I've played all of them. I love them in the fact that anytime I see anything, anytime I hear anything, every time I see a screenshot or a video, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I live in a world that this game exists. But I just haven't spent the time doing it, and I just need to. I just don't know when that's going to be.
I think it makes a lot of sense. So it's just, the hardest thing is maybe time management on the mini games, because like the games are not that long, but to get sucked into a mini game, you're maybe spending a lot of time on that stuff. But and some of the older games don't control as well as the newer games. Like some stuff is like pretty rough.
Can we talk about how styling the head of the studio is? Just look at this dude. I put it in Discord. Look at this guy, dude.
Oh yeah, no, he's a real like
he is
cool
suave. Look at that haircut.
Oh man.
I mean, like in a way that only he can pull off. Like, I dress in that outfit, and everyone's like, Jesus H. Christ, Jesus, Mary, Mother, and Joseph.
I would laugh so hard. I would pay for you to get into that getup. That'd be amazing. Anyway,
I mean, it would be so awful.
I love these. I love it. What's his name? Toshirio Nagoshi, I think is his name. Yeah.
Yeah, but and there's a whole story behind how the franchise got started, which is also interesting because it was not an easy sell, even though now it's like a no-brainer, amazing franchise.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, but poor coffee yours.
I love this. This entry, like it's even overwhelmingly positive on Steam right now. So it's not just like I'm biased because I enjoyed the franchise or whatever. Like people playing this game and just loving it. It's an excellent entry. It's the latest tech. I'm getting like 120 frames. I'm getting awesome frame rates. It looks smooth as butter.
Yeah.
And it's weird. And the mini games are good. There's Hell Coliseum. Sorry, I didn't finish. The other mini game that's awesome is the oh my god, why can't I think of it? Oh, the core, the pocket circuit race car driving is really fun this go around too. Just the latest gen graphics and stuff. It was just really compelling. And was there another one? I can't remember. I did a lot of the mini games. Oh, there's a whole Sega Master System in this now with like 10 Sega classic games.
You can just play them?
Like Alien Sin. Yeah, you have to do that for some Akame points.
That's awesome.
So there's the Akame right network of doing things. And
I love the Master System.
And like the hostess dating super seducer FMV game is pretty wild too.
It's an FMV game?
Yeah.
All right. Those guys, they're outdoing themselves. Shenmue.
Yeah, it's an excellent entry, and it's been a while since we've had a Kiryu game. And
Shenmue, more like Shenpoo.
Oh, also, if you finish the game, you get to play a little sneak preview of Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, which I also got to play.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems good. It's in Hawaii. There's all kinds of Americans. The way they characterize their Americans is awesome. Totally.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
They also added that whole like I'm gonna call it Island Sanctuary because that's what the feature's called in Final Fantasy XIV, which also ironically had the same feature recently. But like they have that whole Island Sanctuary mini game in that where you just build an island and just bring people to it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't freaking wait. It looks amazing.
It's gonna be good. For the record, they still make Monkey Ball games. They made one in 2021. So
nice. Yeah, they still got that in their system too. I think got that
super
talent. They haven't lost that talent who makes those games.
No, they've held on to their true origins over there.
One thing I will say too is that that new game has a Segway in it.
A Segway, like riding around on it? Segway?
Yeah. You get a Segway mount.
I don't know what I thought. I was thinking, it has a great transition on a story point. It's got a little Segway. Oh, you mean the hardware? I thought those were gone. Aren't those done? Are we done with Segways?
I knew immediately based on the franchise we're talking about when Beau said Segway what he was talking
He knew what he meant.
Oh, they call something else now?
Well, no, they just don't make them anymore, I don't think. So when you say Segway, I think of the old school like wordplay Segway. Like, here's a Segway for you. We're going from this game to this other game.
I didn't know they didn't make them anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's a Segway that it has a handlebar, so maybe it's some weird sci-fi Segway that they're.
Or is it is the Ichiban guy? It's a different time. It's in the 90s or
2023.
2020.
Ichiban's current day, and Kiryu's caught up to current day. The that game, Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. What a mouthful! Takes place in 2020.
Okay.
And this new game takes place in 2023. Oh, and that was another nice touch. The gangsters that wear COVID masks in, like you're beating guys up, but they're wearing masks.
Nice.
There's a whole gang of them. They have masks on. You're like, oh, that's respectful. And you can get a mask for yourself too. When I do hell fights, I do wear a COVID mask.
Yeah.
During the hell fights, there's a lot of like nice touches that you're just not gonna like modern current day touches that you're not gonna find in like any other game. That I love that they do that stuff.
Yeah, it turns out in Asia they're not weird about masks. They've been doing this for decades.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, pretty normal.
Yeah, normal for them.
But
yeah,
it's it's a beautiful thing. I think it's just so beautiful I don't know. It felt good to cry last night.
That's good. Let that out of your system. There's other things we're going to let out of our system real quick when we take a break. We're probably going to have to pee. That's one of them. Things like that. We're going to pee. We're going to come back. We're going to rip through some other news. We got a phone call. Are we playing the Crofton thing? Have we made it? What do we
Yeah,
want?
you can play it. He can be kind of trolly, and sometimes he's I know he does a gaming show, and I don't want to insult him a little bit, but he can be really outside of the loop on some stuff.
Yeah.
And, there was a conversation we had about, well, I'm not going to say it here. It's just like, it was so out of touch that it would be like borderline insulting. I was a little worried he just might have a bad cringe take.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't keep up with certain current events, particularly in the Blizzard sphere. So,
yeah.
I wanted to vet it, but it's fine. I think people will enjoy it. We'll do that when we get back, or
yeah, we'll do it when we get back. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. Okay, so go pee, do whatever.
All right, thanks, guys.
I'm gonna go pee as well. And chat, we're gonna put it on a little 5-minute timer. Play a little music, and then we'll come back. Let's give you something nice, like No.
Dear...
No, that's... No.
I'm here to...
No. 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 Let's see. What can we play? I don't know what I want. Let's do something ambient, kind of. There, we'll do this. Okay, we'll see you guys in 5.
you do?
Ah, frick. Hold on. I hit my elbow. Why did that do that? I hit my elbow on this table as I sat down like a big, stupid, loafy dumbass. Frick.
Is it funny bone?
Yeah.
Did funny bone get you?
Yep. Send a little zing up your side. Now it's fine, but
Yep. Just reminds you what it's like to be alive.
to be a man
Sometimes I hit my funny bone just to remind me I can feel.
that I can still feel. Oh, I was going to change what game is playing. Let's see. Well, we wait for Beau to take a dump.
What is this? The sack razor?
This was, where is it? Return to main menu. It is, this is, what's the one where he runs?
I don't know.
Oh, Space Harrier.
Space Harrier, that's it. Yeah.
So let's put in a Castle of Illusion, baby.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I don't know where my SNES Mini went. I'd hook that up, but I can't find it.
That was always my favorite of the Sega logos, was the T-Rex that said it.
Oh, yeah. Sega.
Sega! He just looked to the side. Sega!
I thought I had that somewhere. Him saying that. Do I? Hold on.
Aliens.
That's not it. Spawn. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. The the PlayStation and Dreamcast Spawn game. As soon as you turned it on. Spawn. Amazing. So stupid.
You could probably find it if you Google Jurassic Park Sega game.
Jurassic Park Sega game. Whoops, I wanted to do this on YouTube. Let's find it real quick. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. This will have sound. It's very similar. It's weird. It's a little like the guy.
It's what a T-Rex sounds like.
Sugar. That's pretty good. I don't think that game's very good though. It's okay.
I liked playing as a Velociraptor. That was cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
Because you could play as a raptor and your whole mission was to eat Dr. Grant.
That's true. I also thought graphically it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was weird.
It looked good, moved well. I keep forgetting that new flashback game's still coming out this year. I want to play that. I have such fond feelings for that. Oh, hi, Beau.
Crazy year, man.
How you feeling? You feeling all right? You making it?
It's getting rough. But
Yeah.
I
We're
think
almost there. We're almost
at the finish line.
Yeah, we're gonna haul ass here so that you don't have to bear with it too much
release
longer.
some expectorant.
Indeed.
Body.
All right, here we go. All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Oh, we already did Martha, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martha's done. We did Martha at the top. Remember? We did the whole thing with the WoW thing and all that.
Yeah.
And your inventory nightmare that you experienced.
It was a very long one.
It was.
But
But good, yes. So instead, we're going to talk about other news of note we may have missed, or maybe you missed, and we're going to talk about them now. Okay. Get some music for this. We're going to play this in the background, and we'll rip through these. The first episode of Word on the Street with Greg Street and Scott Johnson is up, video and audio. It's our first episode, but we're just getting started. Got lots of fun plans for that. Next month will be probably some additional people with some systems talk about what they want to do with their game, codename Ghost. Go check it out at frogpants.com/street for more details.
Can I say something about this?
Yes, please.
First of all, the first episode was awesome, but two, hands down, clearly the biggest news item. Like, with that, unironically or unbiased, the biggest thing that happened in gaming was your episode, I think.
Oh, wow. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, maybe also the AMA was really good. I don't know if we covered it, if it happened before or after last week, but
it was good.
It's a
I think it
continuation of
happened
that, and I think it's the
Yeah.
biggest news of the week. So
Yeah, it was
nice
fun.
job, Scott.
It was before because we talked about it here, I guess, and we could finally talk about it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and Greg's a great guy, and can't wait to get Holinka on there again, and a whole bunch of people over there. They're great. All right, details on that again at frogpants.com/street. Baldur's Gate 3, we talked about that a bunch today, and it will probably sweep the awards, is getting a physical edition that also comes in Xbox flavor. Also, it won a ton of golden joystick awards. You know, the old golden stick awards.
The golden stick.
Unironically, there's a Hungarian celebration where you either get sticks to beat your kid with, or golden sticks. And they arrived in your boot, and I got golden sticks every year.
Nice job. Well done.
So golden sticks are a thing in some cultures.
Yeah,
And
Canadian cultures.
Speaking of the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say, it's not Santa Claus that gives the sticks. It's Saint Mikolash. Yeah.
Yes, but John, sorry, what were you going to say about something?
I was just going to add, tacked on to this, that speaking of Game Awards.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to announce the release date for Xbox. So if you have an Xbox and you've been waiting to play the game that we won't stop talking about, it's you're going to find out at the Game Awards when you get to do that.
Yep. Still expected before the end of December, so good news on that front. I didn't put it in the news, but I meant to mention it. The Witcher is getting a in-house mod tool thing that will let people make their own quests and their own content in The Witcher 3, which is crazy.
Whoa!
I forgot to put it in here.
One.
Yeah, pretty rad sounding. It's like an editor to create scripting and all sorts of stuff.
That actually sounds
awesome, right?
Really interesting.
I agree. See if I can find it.
It's a mod editor 8 years after. Wow. Smooth, Metamucil. It's awesome.
Yep. It's exciting. There it is. Official mod editor next year. So it's not right away, but we'll be getting that next year. And that could be really fun.
Oh my god. So you can just edit existing quests and content or just do
make your own.
Oh my god. What if you could make your own?
And you don't have to be a big programmer dude to do it. So
we have like what if it's just me? It's like we can add a core NPCs into Witcher and do a core quest line.
Yeah, Jorts man, go talk to Jorts man.
Scott Jorts Johnson.
Oh, this is cool. Sorry, I'm just sorry to get hung up on this one because I know we're trying to do it quick. I just wonder what date is it out now? Or?
No, it says 2024, but I don't know what that means. Probably January or February or something.
Okay,
first of the year.
Okay, yeah.
What else we got here? Dungeon Keeper 1 mod, KeeperFX in full release after 15 years. So, hey, guess what's back, you guys? Dungeon Keeper, Molyneux's epic Dungeon Master deal. And it's available now. Someone on PC Gamer has that.
At the height of its relevancy.
Yeah, perfect timing.
I just... Sorry, I threw this in there because it actually excited me when I saw this because I'm like, Dungeons 4 just came out, but I just don't know if the Dungeons franchise is quite it. And then I looked at this. I may install this trend.
Oh, you should. You should stream it. And I would watch that. I used to love that game. Dungeon Keeper 1 was my jam for a long time. I don't know who. Remember they tried to make a mobile game, EA did, and it was terrible. But that's about all we've heard from that thing. So any Dungeon Keeper talk is good talk.
They failed to replicate the perfect formula that Dungeon Keeper laid out, and it's kind of puzzling, but
yeah,
there you go.
How is that Dungeons 4? Is it okay? Is anyone trying?
No, I played
it's on Game Pass. You can find out for free.
Okay,
just try it.
Maybe I will.
Oh,
yeah, should.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, because it's pretty pricey if you buy it standalone.
Maybe I won't buy it pricey. Maybe I'll get it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think that's my recommendation, I think.
What else? Darktide is new major update, finishing talent trees and adding a zone called the Carnival. Kind of excited to check this out. Finished talent trees seems like a big milestone for the fixes to that game. So,
yeah, the new level looks cool. I can't report on what it was, but I just like to give Darktide a bump because one of these days we're going to be playing it, and one of these days they'll cross the threshold and everyone's going to want to play it.
I want to. I totally want to.
All right, well, we got to reach out. I guess I got COVID, so it made it kind of hard. But
you and your damn COVID.
Gotta play some games.
It's your fault.
Play some games.
Just kidding. It's not your fault. Samwise Didier. You guys know him from Blizzard. He was there for 31 or 32 years. One of the OGs. And really, this is the one thing you cannot deny the man. The in-house art style that was Blizzard games absolutely flowed from that dude's pen. And he was there for a very long time. In fact, he was over on the Heroes team for a bit. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
In fact, John and I, didn't we interview him at BlizzCon?
Yeah.
He was in the room.
Yeah, we got to talk to him. I loved it. I was so excited. Like, that was one of the most, starstruck moments for me
Yeah.
because I usually assume I'm gonna go in and I'm not gonna know who I'm talking to.
Right.
Because there are a couple of people at Blizzard that certainly get a lot of attention, get a lot of spotlight, but it's not all of them. Not all of them are as forward facing. And I just walked in there and Samwise was in there, and I think I was just like,
Yeah. Caught me off. It caught me off guard too because they didn't tell us who was going to be in there. We didn't know.
We just knew we were going to be talking to someone from the art team.
Yep. So he's retiring. He's going to get some much needed time on his own. He's got a place in Texas he's trying to do stuff with, and as far as I know, not heading to another game or studio. It's just going to be Samwise for a while.
Yeah, he released a statement too on his YouTube, which was funny.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Just how
yet.
Not undramatic, not that I was expecting to be dramatic, but how just for stuff coming out of Blizzard, especially along with stuff, it was, I guess, just humble is I guess the way to put it, right? He's like, well, I've been punching the clock for 31 years and time to do something a little different. Like, it was just so very cool and relatable, I guess.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I like his ABC philosophy.
Yep. Plus, always have giant shoulder pads or whatever his advice was.
Yeah, ABC plus giant shoulder.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That is it for bonus content news today. Let's now dive straight into this voicemail that we got at 801-471-0462. This is a voicemail about Inkbound, a game both John and I played. John originally, I think, recommended it. I ended up getting it, really liking it. It was getting mixed reviews mainly because of microtransaction stuff that seemed a little out of place for the devs of Monster Train. Just didn't seem like their thing. Well, they have an update for us, and that's what this call's about. Here you go.
Hey, this is Ben calling for Core. I just had a quick question for you guys. So I've been loving Inkbound. I'm really glad that John, I guess, originally recommended it, which I forgot, so I'm even more glad that Scott specifically told him he should have recommended it harder, because I've been loving it. I've got like 70 hours or something. And so I was just wondering what your guys' opinion was on them removing microtransactions from the game, because I don't know if any of y'all saw this, but in the most recent update for the game, which introduced some new characters and such, they took out the Battle Pass system and, to my knowledge, all ability to purchase stuff within the game with real money. And I don't really think they needed to do that. I thought it was a really pretty forgiving system. I got to level 100 on the Battle Pass and I was able to purchase the premium for free pretty quickly, like within 50 hours, I think. And I didn't really feel pressured to buy any cosmetics, but I'm curious as to what your guys' opinion is on it. Love to hear what you guys think. Bye.
It did result in fresh reviews, putting them in the overall or the overwhelmingly positive zone. So they went from mixed to very popular very quickly. I think people are just so opposed diametrically and at principle at things like microtransactions that they're just stoked to see them gone, even if they weren't predatory.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the developer can do it, I mean, like at a certain point, people have to get paid for their video games that they put out. I mean, like at a certain point, money has to change hands. We all don't like it. We're all gonna act like we're annoyed by it. There's people who get, so angry about, like YouTube ads and stuff like that, and it's like, well, so you just want this website to exist for free, and you think that that'll just be a thing that happens. And it's like, no, it's okay if everybody else pays for it, but I don't want it. I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing exists in that world. So it's kind of a necessary evil, and I'm willing to acknowledge that. But there are times when it's predatory in a way. It's all kind of predatory, but there's times when it's bad, and it's bad. And there's times when it's okay. And so as long as the developer's not sinking themselves doing this, just trying to get better reviews for their game, as long as they have a plan and, can pay their workers and do what they got to do, I think that that's absolutely fine and good for them for doing it, because I think that that's obviously what people want. As long as this isn't then later followed by a statement next week where they're like, well, we laid off half our staff. They're all gone now.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I mean, like, video games cost money. I agree that we shouldn't be monetized to hell, but it costs money to make video games, and you should pay money to get video games.
Yeah.
It's not a free service that just gets delivered to you.
Well, I guess the way it worked out in this case is you're you're buying Inkbound, and that's all you're buying. So I think
It looks like they have some supporter packs, kind of like what Dwarf Game, what Deep Rock Galactic does, where it's like, hey, if you like what we're doing, if you want to support us, here's some stuff that you can buy. I think that sort of stuff's great. I've always loved the way Deep Rock Galactic is monetized. It's always felt encouraging to support them when I can too. Like, you know, I've bought a couple of those packs when I was playing the game, not because I really wanted what was in them, but more just like, you know, I haven't given you guys a lot of money for this. Sort of like why I always buy Vampire Survivors DLC. I'm like, I took terrible advantage of you. I will buy whatever DLC you put out because you deserve it. So,
yeah. Plus, that game did a really weird thing by being so big and establishing themselves so cheap when it first launched. It was like, well, $3 is what we think we can get for this game. And then everyone who makes one of these feels like they have to stay under $5 to even compete. And that's interesting in a business that has definitely gone up across the board, right? Everybody's got you're paying a little bit more for everything from indies all the way up to AAAs by $10, $5, whatever. But that was established as this normal for that kind of, whatever subgenre that is, that's a $5 or less experience. And that's just how it is. And all these new ones that come out, they're never more than $5. And if they are, they don't succeed. It's weird. It's a very odd thing. Anyway, that's great. Thank you for that. 801-471-0462 is the number to call. Now, we got something from Beau's old pal, one of his great friends in the world, Crofton, who we've talked about on the show before. All right. He sent in a 3-minute file, and I hesitated whether we were even going to play this, but I checked with Beau. We've had some back and forth.
This is a tight show that runs fast and quick, and he's going to bring it down with 3 minutes of audio.
I know.
What does he think people do with their lives? They don't have 3 minutes to give.
I couldn't help but feel...
You may want to play the 3 minutes because it's kind of like our own drama situation unfolding.
Like John sitting and watching, imagine sitting still and watching a TV show for 3 minutes. You barely register. It just it goes by really fast, right? Our break during the show, it's a 5-minute break and it feels like nothing. We're just up, pee, grab some water, come back. But imagine somebody pulling your fingernails out while you're sitting in that same place. That's the longest 3 minutes of your life, right?
Yeah.
That might be what this is. I don't know. Yeah. Honestly,
we'll find out.
Yeah.
If it feels fast, it was a good call. If this feels long, then, you know, Crofton's on notice for...
Yeah, well, we just won't play his voicemails again, so hopefully makes his good first impression.
That's right. Pressure. That's a good point. All right, here he is. Let's play it.
Dear gentlemen of the Core Podcast and Beau, it has come to my attention that you have been defaming my character on your show. I've been called everything from intellectually lazy to a toastmaster, whatever that is, which is insulting as I'm much more into Eggo waffles. Honestly, I was able to take all of these insults, but your last 2 episodes impugned upon my character at a level I could no longer take. First, Beau indicated that I cheated at the board game Root. Secondly, and far more importantly, he indicated that I was in fact not a good rogue, when I am, some would say, many people would say, the world's best rogue. Now, I'm not worried for me, as the millions and millions of Croftaholics see through these barbs. They're transparent, but I'm worried for what it will do for the reputation of your show. People need to understand the larger conflict at work here and the conspiracy you were all engaged in. So, when I first pickpocketed Scott's gold in Divinity Original Sin 2, I gave it back to him. Not just because Beau made me do it, but because I actually wanted to. But now, John's going to second cousins of ex-girlfriends and filling out his wrestling roster. I can see that I am being actively punished for that original sin, too. Also, if I'm not a good rogue, how could I have gotten away with stealing from my own party member? I ask you that. Now, Beau. You claim the rules of Root are poorly written. That wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that you are the only person of our group yet to win it, does it? You say my wins are tainted due to cheating, but it's not cheating if you don't understand what you're doing. In a way, I was just the benefactor of our collective confusion. It is like how you Americans seem to elect your presidents. Sometimes the winner might not be the most qualified, but at least they know how to be unqualified with confidence. Now, your insults have reached a point where I have to devote a segment of my show, Dungeons and Diapers, no, Scott, it's not a sex thing, to repudiating your criticism. I know you likely never get any complaints on your opinions, but if this continues, I may have to resort to international legal action. Or I could just sue Beau domestically. Maybe that would be easier. Unless there is some way that I can squash this virtual beef once and for all, consider yourselves warned. Sincerely yours, Crofton Steers.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
3-minute advertisement for his podcast.
Yeah.
It's like Dear Martha, but not funny.
I like that he clearly looked up the word repudiate and it was like, oh, this is a great word. So he decided I'm going to put it in this diatribe as many times as possible because I looked it up. I mean, Crofton, you were mostly aimed at Beau, but from one professional rogue to another self-professed rogue, it's a lot more believable that it came to your attention when you don't later in your call say you've dedicated an entire segment to our show. There's a bit of a fallacy there. Also, good rogue behavior is not to give the gold back.
That's true.
Maybe that's how rogues do it in Canada, but where we're from, rogues keep the gold they steal, at least if they're of any quality whatsoever.
Yeah, that's why I never played Divinity 3 with you. Because
you would never know that you were
I'd never
missing
know.
gold. You'd just be like, why can't
I'm like, why is my pocket so
in
empty?
this game?
Yeah.
Everybody else seems to be buying armor, John especially, but I can't afford a damn thing in this game.
This game's got a gold leak or something going on. Well, Crofton, you've made your point. You've made your stand. All right.
Well, I think I'm in legal trouble.
Yeah, but it's like him going after you. Like, come on. Like, what's he going to get out of this? I don't mean that you're broke. I mean what?
No, you're giving Crofton
No, I mean, like, what is he going to come after? He's going to take your cool. You have a great computer. He's going to take your cool stuff, and you don't want that. You got to make a stand.
Canadian legal system. What happens if it goes wrong? Is there an exchange of maple syrup or something?
I don't know. We have small claims court like you do. We got.
Oh, so like a vial of maple.
It's a whole vial of it, yeah. Like a quart of it.
Exchange maple syrup up here in Canada. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's your.
Sorry, here you go.
Sorry. I'm sorry I have to give this to you. I'm sorry I have to take it.
I saw the funniest thing. You guys got your new coin with King. What's his name? The new king. George, not George.
King Locklear.
Ralph. What's his name?
King
What's wrong
Pistachio.
with me? What, the one that was married
to Koopa.
The one that was married to Princess Diana. What's wrong with me?
Prince Welsh Martian.
Oh my lord.
Martian Manhunter.
Why can't anyone think of his name?
It's like Diana Ross. Why is Diana Ross in my head?
Queen Elizabeth had a son. His name is Charles G's. All right.
Charles
anyway,
G's.
You guys showed off your new coin. You have a new coin with his head on it, and it's a side profile of him. And I saw that photo, and I went, the ears are too small. And then somebody sent me somebody who photoshopped it, so they have a front shot of the coin, looks like the one I saw, and then they have a side shot of the coin, and there's a big old ear sticking out of the head side of the coin.
That's hilarious.
It made me laugh. Anyway, congratulations on your new sovereign and having to use his money and shit. Good luck on that. Yeah. All right. That's it for all those things. Thank you, Crofton. Thank you, other voicemail guy. And listen, if you are a listener of this show.
Bad. Did Beau want to respond?
Oh, did you want to respond more to Crofton's deal? Yeah, you give it to
you guys.
His was mostly aimed at you. I
appreciate you guys coming to my defense. I figured that's enough.
Well, no, if we're gonna build a beef, let's build a beef. If he's gonna come at us with weak sauce, let's fire it up.
He cheated at root, but the thing is yes, he might not have known, but I'm very insistent when it comes to we don't understand rules to stop the game and figure it out. You played D&D with me before,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Remember the big pit where I had to measure the exact velocity of the zombies falling down? For some reason,
the math bit.
yeah, I get kind of in these like these holes where I'm like, we have to resolve things as like, rulesies as possible.
Sure.
And my insistence on the book sucked and was poorly written was due to things like this. Although, really, you get a little card with your rules on it for each faction, and he just misread his 3 or 4 games in a row. The one time I get the faction, I find the error and have to play correctly, not cheating, and still not winning because I'm the only one that does proper reading.
Yeah, proper rules adherence.
And just make a note of that, Jeff Keighley. As a consultant, I'm very thorough. The other part, which my COVID brain is now starting to melt, so I kind of forget where I'm at. But
it's all good.
What was the other thing he accused me of? Calling him a bad rogue.
Touched his wiener.
Yeah.
One
I
time.
mean, the VODs are up on. People can decide for themselves. That shit speaks for itself.
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I watched enough to know he got caught a lot doing a lot of things.
Yeah, he's a dastardly bastard.
I still love him. Why does he want to sue me? Just like, let's go have a what is it?
Yeah, your brothers.
Let's go have a soda.
Yeah.
Everybody lives, nobody dies. The Kim Mitchell song.
He likes the
maybe he's a great rogue. Maybe he's in frog wrestling all along, and we just never saw it.
Oh shit!
He's not as much a rogue. I think he fancies himself a rogue. He is. You'll notice his speech patterns are a lot like a certain self-confident public speaker. He's more of a that kind of rogue.
Different kind of rogue. Yeah.
Like, the mayor, the person, an affable fellow that gets along with everyone who can speak, in full sentences.
He's got some weird under the table stuff.
Bard.
It's a bard vibe, not a rogue thing.
Yeah, very, very Barbie.
Reroll Bard, Crofton.
You're very Barbie. Did you hear me that, Crofton? Did you hear that? You're Barbie. All right. Well done. Let's do this.
Enough.
This is it is time for us to recognize some new faces. That's right. Patreon.com/core show has some brand new folks in the family. Gabriel G, Eric, John, Tim Reisbeck, Incredible Plum. That's a great name.
Nice.
I didn't know that would be the one that would trip Scott up.
It really did.
Yeah, what I liked was the way you read it. Not so, like, it's a nice name too, but you were like, Incredible Plum.
Sneaky. No, that's a good name. I like it. Zaxtronaut, I believe is how you say the other one. These fine folks joined us this week, and we would love to have you in there and be counted among them. This month is half over. That means there's still half the fun to have and reasons to join. Go check it out. Read all about it at patreon.com/core show today. It's going to do it for today's show. Let's get out of here with Fast Grandma and her summation of the games that were played today. John, take it away.
Well, I'll certainly tell you which games got played faster than they did talking about them. They played the World of Warcraft, the Diablo 4, WWE 2K23. Back to Scott, he played Backpack Hero. That nearly missed that one. Beau played Hardcore WoW. That's still World of Warcraft, but it's hardcore. He also played Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Yeah. That's it. Those are the games.
Yeah, we had less games overall this week, but that's okay. Quality over quantity. Wait, what? No, the other. No, yeah, quality.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
We did one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two for sure happened. We'll be back next week with more. Plenty should still be happening before the end of this year. We got our best ofs coming up. We'll try to cover the Game Awards when those happen. Lots of fun stuff happening. Go check us out at frogpants.com/core for all your questions. And join us on the Discord while you're at it. We also have a new WoW guild that's based on the core listenership. You can find that on the Discord. That's all free and available to you right now at frogpants.com/Discord or wherever you check it out on the site. It's all over the place. That is going to do it for us. For me, for John, for Beau. We'll see you next time.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Could I have your name, please?
Have you spoken to Jaren yet?
Jaren.
Is that a real
I
phone
used to
call?
listen to those all the time. The old like soundboard prank phone calls.
Yeah,
I
that's
loved the Deckard Cain.
Yeah, the Deckard K one's great. The lady's so incensed the whole time. She's so annoyed. Jaren. And he just keeps saying, Diablo, Beau.
Who is this?
I need your help.
I don't know why I like it better that it's Deckard Cain, because most of those annoy me, but that wins